Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple threat brain trust a tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lip Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy unicorn himself, Mr. Scooter Ray, aka Scooty Hungy, tonight on this Thursday evening. I know
I
you
would
used to
say
be
this.
seeing
It feels amazing when you have your own theme song. Just
every time. And I know, of course, y'all used to us having the trio here. Don't worry, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic, will be here, but he is getting zestfully clean for the ladies of the IWC. So don't fret. Just be
especially
patient.
you, Patsy. Especially you.
Especially you, Shotzi. He will be here. So, but we're gonna carry on before he makes his grand entrance and get into none other than what we're always used to get, and that is, of course, Scoot with the mother effing news. What you
Got
got,
a
Scoot?
couple of quick hits on the WWE side. Well, we did find out apparently Charlotte's disappearance is because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
or that's what they want to tell us. Um, then with that, Rhea challenged Asuka instead. So Rhea will be fighting Asuka
As
at
it should be.
WrestleMania. And the word is that they might end up just moving Charlotte to SmackDown.
Huh.
Like they saying that don't be surprised if all of a sudden Charlotte might get into a program with Bailey or Carmella or something. So
Oh,
so
okay. That I'm fine with. I thought they were going to shoot her up to Sasha or
no.
Bianca. Okay.
Maybe after, when it's all said and done, maybe after WrestleMania. But
Gotcha.
right now, it seems like if Charlotte is able to make it to WrestleMania, then she might be fighting like Bailey or somebody. So we'll see with that.
Let's see. So they said Bailey and Carmella. So does that mean
Bailey
that
or Carmella.
they're gonna, I guess, continue making Charlotte a face, I guess?
I guess so. I guess.
Huh.
So, and they
I
only said those because they haven't really been on TV that prominent recently.
mhm.
So, and then plus two, why not? I guess Charlotte versus Bailey, with Bailey being, who she's been in the last few weeks. So why not?
Yeah,
I
which I guess that begs the question: does Bailey have a program at WrestleMania?
Not at the moment, no.
Do you think she will? Because that's
Um,
odd.
unless they were planning on doing the women's battle royal again, which I highly doubt because once again they haven't said anything. So
I don't think they should.
I wouldn't be surprised if some last minute booking we might get a Charlotte versus Bailey or something, because Bailey nor Carmella have nothing for WrestleMania.
Hmm. Which that's sad, and I'm going to talk about it more when we get into NXT, because NXT obviously is doing a fantastic build to stand and deliver on both
Oh
weeks
my
one and
god!
two.
Oh
Um,
my god! They are.
but we'll get into that soon here. But got to get through the news first. So, but yeah,
Um. Yeah. So I mean, that's an interesting story. I mean, rather with Charlotte's case that you know
mm-hmm.
she's dealing with the COVID, unfortunately.
Give that to
Um.
Charlotte.
Same. Give Bella Charlotte. I just read this before we got on. There could be WWE could potentially still have interest in one Tessa Blanchard.
Hmm.
And the reason why that came about because Funaki has a school in San Antonio, and
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. And apparently Bailey and Sasha was down there training, and they was training with Tessa, apparently.
Hey.
So maybe WWE still might have an interest with Tessa now, it's interesting because two of the people who called Tessa out does work for WWE with Chelsea Green and Gigi Dolan, aka Priscilla Kelly.
Mhm.
Those were two women that did call out Tessa. So I guess we'll see how that goes. That WWE still might have a little interest
Well,
in one Tessa Blanchard.
speaking of which, do we have an update on Chelsea Green? Is she good, or
I haven't heard anything yet.
hopefully
Like
she
I
gets
haven't
back?
seen anything on social media or nothing on
Um,
Chelsea. So
that's crazy, and unfortunate for her because she's just been getting like the shit and the stick on not on
yes,
WWE's and just like as far as like injuries and
period. Yeah.
yeah. So, hmm. Well,
Um,
I don't know what to think about Tessa being
me
because I
neither.
mean it's I I guess it's one of those situations where I like as far as like going from I guess NXT / WWE and AEW, it's hard for me to even have a verdict because I don't. It depends on how they use her.
Well,
Because
the
I
thing
would.
is, okay, so with Tessa, and we know Tessa's caliber,
Mhm.
do we see her even going to NXT? Or do you think they're going to fast track her to the main roster?
Uh, yeah, they shouldn't have her go to NXT. It should be WWE. It should be main roster for sure.
Okay.
Um, just based on especially if they want to stack it up against what she's done in Impact, which being the not the women's world champ, but just the Impact world champion.
Yeah, the Impact World Champion. Yeah.
That in itself would just guard would give her credence to be able to go to the main roster without any issues. And that's the problem that I also have because it's like a double-edged sword. Because she's had these accolades here, there's no way that you can ask her to be drafted over to the main roster and then to just downgrade her. That's the problem that
Right?
I have. And that's where it kind of just like she would probably be better off going to New Japan, if anything, just because of the prestige
Mm,
they have throughout the whole company, where it's like you can go for any title and still have the same relevance and have the same prestige you would have if you had anywhere else.
yeah.
It's not the same when you go to AEW, WWE, NXT. No disrespect on those. It's just the way that New Japan holds their superstars at a at a certain regard. So
I mean, yeah, because I mean, we're looking at Taya's case. Taya has been all over Impact, all over Lucha Underground,
mhm.
and she still is going to have to go through NXT. I
Mm,
mean, no telling for how long she might have to go through it, but she still have to go through NXT before she even sees main roster.
true.
So I mean, some people I guess get lucky in that regards, and some people don't. So
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it's weird. I just it's hard to render a verdict in those situations based on just the background of the whole situation at hand.
yeah, I can agree. And too, and I guess it kind of sucks in her case because it it always sucks when someone who is talented
Mhm.
go through things, and that's in any walk of entertainment.
True.
I mean, if we want to stick to kind of sports world, I mean, look at John Jones. John Jones was like that guy. Then it was like all of these allegations and then all of these things. And then it was like
Hmm.
your legacy is unfortunately being hurt. And it's not because you started losing or anything like that. It's because of outside activities.
Yeah, and he's still technically undefeated outside of a no contest.
Outside of a no contest.
So
But the fact that his image is tarnished. You
yeah,
know,
with the clubbing, the cocaine allegations,
the hit
the
and
performance
run.
enhancements, yeah,
Hmm.
all of it.
So I mean, it sucks when hell, if we want to really keep it in the wrestling world, unfortunately, Chris Benoit. You
True.
know, this is somebody who is regarded as one of the world's best, and he did something, and like it's crazy to know that not only did he do something, but he did something that like it divided the people almost immediately. Like it was an immediate like divide in Chris's
True.
case
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
you have some people who can separate the person and the talent,
Hmm.
and you have some people that's like, nah, fam, however how this go, that's how it went. And
Yeah.
that was the thing with Chris's case. It's like we don't give a fuck about your classic matches. You murdered your
Your
wife
wife
and
and
son.
your son. Yeah.
Like, we don't care how many classic matches or classic moments you gave us. Like, it's unforgivable. Like, so it's weird because in her case, it's like all of these stories came out and it was just like her attitude is bad. She's known for saying racial things, and to have all of that said against you at 25 is crazy.
Yeah.
Because in a wrestler's case, Tessa can wrestle another 20 years depending on her ring style if she doesn't get any fatal, but any like
Yeah.
crazy Daniel Bryan-esque, Paige-esque injuries, to already have such a negative cloud over your name at 25 is crazy
True.
and it'd be hard to repair,
And
you
I
know.
think that's one of the reasons why I think she's going to actually sign with WWE, because one of the people to speak out against her was Big Swole.
Yeah.
And in order for her, I mean, granted, her dad does work for AEW, but in order for her to go there, she would have to mend, because she doesn't have to go against Tully. She has to wrestle against anybody in the women's division,
Well, see, that's
including
what I
Big
say it made
Swole.
it interesting with WWE's case, with WWE having Chelsea and Priscilla Kelly. They
Mhm.
were two women who spoke out against her compared to
Oh,
Big
okay.
Swole. Yeah, so regardless, she's gonna have to make amends, period. Unless she
Yeah.
just fuck y'all, I don't care what y'all think type of situation.
Well,
You
we
know,
already know WWE's case. If you got the talent, you can bring them money. Part of them don't give a shit. I mean, outside of the
yeah,
Chris Benoit shit,
F you, Hulk
it,
Hogan.
yeah, perfect example. In AEW, they are more into catering to, no offense to AEW, but they are more into catering to whatever the culture wants them to do, so that way they don't get that backlash.
I mean,
So
remember they got Jimmy Havoc the fuck out of there.
they
So
did, they
they
did
got B
indeed.
Priestley the fuck out of there.
True.
Sammy Guevara almost got the fuck out of it. If Sasha Banks would have probably made more of a bigger stink than what happened, they
Mhm.
probably would have got Sammy the fuck out of there.
And that's another thing, because that leads me to question, like, had it not been for Sasha coming out and saying that, hey, everything's cool, we already talked, would he have been in the same position that he's in now, or would he have
I
been
think
worse
so.
off?
I
So,
legitimately think that's probably why they quote unquote sent him the sensitivity training, because they
mhm.
was probably waiting to see what Sasha had to say.
Mm.
And I honestly think if Sasha would have caused a bigger stink, they probably would have got Sammy the fuck out of there.
Oof. Yeah. Well, luckily for Sammy,
Yeah,
he's still good. Thanks, Sasha. Appreciate
yeah,
it. but
basically. But yeah, so I mean, like I said, we can always take it with a grain of salt. She could just be training.
mhm.
So, but yeah, so we'll see what
we
happens.
we
Um,
hope for the best. So,
uh, the Kane, Kane, and the Great Khali will be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So, congrats,
yeah, congrats.
Kane for sure. They saying
Mhm.
Khali is kind of more of the whole India,
Huh. Okay.
you
That's
know,
interesting.
but congrats to Kane and Khali. It's still rumors that RVD is supposed to get inducted, so I guess we'll see.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I heard rumors of RVD. I think before they even said Molly Holly, so maybe they might be saving
Hmm.
RVD. I guess is maybe like the big name, even though I thought Kane would have been the big name. But
Yeah,
um,
Kane should have been inducted a long time ago, but
yeah,
Yeah.
Batista did confirm on his Instagram that he will not be inducted into this Hall of Fame due to his scheduling conflicts.
Mm.
So he will be inducted on a later date, aka, like I said last time, when they get a crowd.
Yeah.
So that's when the animal will be inducted. One other quick hit. Uh, everybody's favorite group, Retribution, is probably finally breaking up.
Now, of course, I
Yeah.
did see Fastlane.
Yes.
Saw the fallout, obviously, but and, yeah, we talked. We
Yeah,
talked
we
about
talked about it, but
it.
the rumors were Ali was supposed to be hurt.
And there's the man right there, Shotzi. There you go. He's here,
Oh, me?
Shotzi.
There you
Wait,
go.
she here? Where's she at? Miss you, boo. Anyway. I got to stop with this before it gets like bad, guys. Like there's gonna be some kind of like side forum that's gonna be like, I wonder if he really knows. I mean, like, you're like, damn it, just like chill out. No, I don't need that kind of heat.
Right now, of course, I didn't see Raw, so I don't know what the fallout was of Retribution. I don't know if they even had a segment on Raw
They did.
regarding. Oh, they did. Okay.
No,
Oh, they didn't.
no, they did. The rumor is. Hold on.
Like hearing from a half a room away.
No, I'm still in the same room.
Oh, excuse me.
The rumor is Ali's supposed to be hurt, and that's why they're splitting up Retribution.
All
so
because
it's
of
an injury
Ali.
deal.
Yeah, apparently Ali's supposed to be hurt.
There we go.
And they thought that he was going to need surgery, but he confirmed that he doesn't need surgery. So maybe he just might be taking time off to heal up, and from there they're going to just break up Retribution because they wasn't on Raw.
Okay.
Excuse me, Monday. So maybe after WrestleMania they might reintroduce Shane Thorne, Mia Yim, D.L. Madden, and Dominic Dijakovic. So
can I just ask the question? Which brand is going to be the first to do intergender wrestling in the States? Well, I mean, like of the big brands, I should say that.
Well,
because we've had all of our indie promotions.
WWE teased it a few times by having like Reginald versus Sasha Banks, or when Asuka was fighting James Ellsworth. So they teased
we did have Bliss and Orton.
Bliss and Orton, yeah.
But that was
Come on.
I know.
Two asterisks.
Like I'm talking, let's get some Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Candice LeRae, and insert name here. Like he did a scummy thing. Anyway,
yeah, we're not gonna mention him.
No, we don't need to. I do feel bad for one of my friends though who like bought his shirt and like loved his character and all that. Yeah. He's like, well, I gotta go find a shirt to replace that shirt.
The most we'll get as far as intergender shit would be certain spots, i.e., Nia Jax in the Royal Rumble. Years ago.
Yeah,
where that should happen.
I believe that.
Orton and Stacey Keibler with the RKO. Certain situations where Zelina Vega would give the Hurricane Rana to somebody.
Yeah,
true.
Shit like that. But I don't think it's going to be a full on like match outside of Bliss and Orton. Which,
like I said,
you see, I was waiting for that Stacey Keibler RKO to happen to Bliss too, and I was like, is he gonna do it? Are they gonna actually have him do it again? And then it didn't, and I was just very disappointed.
Speaking of, since we brought up the name, since y'all didn't watch Raw,
did not.
Orton summoned. Remember I told you was supposed to summon the Fiend like Final Fantasy. So how that ended up playing
I
out?
turned it on for like 5 minutes after we got off.
So how that scene played out was because I think it ended the show, if I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, it ended the show.
I did not make it to the end of that show.
he called out Fiend and he doused him back again with gas. And when he was acting like he's gonna set him on fire again, he RKO'd him. And then that's when Bliss came to the ring, and Fiend got back up. He hit the mandible claw, Sister Abigail, and then of course they pointed to the WrestleMania sign.
Okay, so that clearly that's happening.
So
which is no
also
surprise.
too, well, I'll talk about that the next story. Oh, and apparently Orton's wife got a little pissed off at Bliss for the way Bliss pinned Orton at Fastlane.
Oh, come on now.
Now, on Monday, I came on here and I mentioned that little straddle. I mentioned that straddle.
We all know that some labels could have been putting on some cameras there.
According to the tweet, I guess Kim Orton sent, I think it was on the lines of "You done fucked up, little girl" or something like that. So I guess she wasn't too happy at the way she straddled her man for the pinfall.
You know who was happy?
Alexa Bliss.
Little Randy.
I mean, yeah.
Look, I saw that straddle, which is why I made it a point to
we
mention
all
it
done
on
seen
Monday.
that straddle.
The internet was all talking about that straddle.
Okay,
yes.
then. So then,
yes.
The internet.
Now, granted, look, Miss Bliss is an engaged woman to Ryan Cabrera, which is why I stated, Mr. Cabrera. Look, it happens. It's acting.
It happens. This is okay.
It happens. It's a pin. Look, there have been men.
It was a very intentional pin, but
matter of fact, there was a pin that happened on NXT. Well, a potential pin that happened on NXT by one Aaliyah on Shotzi. That was kind of.
Wait, did I miss that? I must have missed that.
Okay. It wasn't the actual pin. It was when she went to get into the pin position. She slid in a way that could resemble the numbers 9 and 6 in a different way.
Really? I must have missed that.
I did not.
Huh.
Who was this again?
Shotzi and Aaliyah.
Doing that tag match?
Yes. But we'll get to that later.
Here, let me just go ahead and find that match. Anyways. I got the DVR.
Now I think I did see the tweet from Orton that said because I don't know, I didn't know that it realized that because I remember saying something about him either being in like a bad way or a doghouse or whatever. But I remember him quoting like Soulja Boy saying something about like it's fake or whatever.
But yeah, apparently that's what it must have to do with the fact that I guess the missus is mad at Orton for the way Bliss pinned him.
Interesting. Hi, Loki. What? No. You were in the last episode. Get off. Anyways.
That's fine.
But yeah, so
Loki says hi.
That was another tidbit, and I guess the other tidbit is before we get into the shows, WrestleMania is starting to take form and take shape because on Raw they were announcing which matches are going to be on night 1 and night 2. So far on night 1 we have Drew and Bobby, Sasha and Belair, which that's been like the argument of who should main event.
Loki should main event.
Oh, between Sasha Belair and Lashley and
Bobby.
He don't like that one.
It's being actually, honestly, their best bet.
Dude,
keep it traditional and just have Bianca and Banks.
That's what the fans are saying, especially since Bianca did win the Rumble.
Win the Royal Rumble, yeah, it makes.
And they were saying, and of course, they brought up the fact that the Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda match wasn't as eventful for a women's main event, so that's what might make them reconsider them for the main event. But once again, those two matches are night one. I think New Day versus AJ and Omos is night one.
Okay.
Night two for sure. I think they doing Fiend and Orton for night two. Of course, Edge and Roman. I think Braun and Shane was night one as well.
They need to pre-show that shit because I don't care.
And I know
any of that.
Oscar and Rhea is night two.
Oscar and Rhea should be night two.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, they should
What's another
flip
match I
it.
can't remember.
They need to flip it for night one. They need to have the WWE Championship be before the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and then on night two have the women's Raw Women's before the Universal Championship. Yeah,
they might do it that way.
So wait, what about have they confirmed what the SmackDown tag match is?
Not yet. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be some type of 4-way ladder match. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'm pretty sure probably
I think it should be.
I think Friday, because I'm pretty sure Friday we're going to get a confirmation of Seth and Cesaro, the tag team title match, and probably KO and Sami Zayn. That's probably going to be confirmed tomorrow. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Daniel gets added to that Roman Reigns and Edge match too, because that's been a highly.
I definitely saw that happening.
Do we got 2 to 3 weeks before WrestleMania?
After tomorrow is 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks from Saturday and Sunday.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what WrestleMania is looking like so far. Is they haven't announced yet if Orton and Bray is going to be some type of specialty match, but it does seem like, yeah, most likely, and it does seem
Inferno
like,
match,
and it also does seem like Fiend is summoned by like a Jack in the Box.
So wait, does he look the same?
Yeah, he still had that same look.
Toxic Avenger.
God damn it!
Telling you, I can't unsee it. In my childhood,
even his image was of the Toxic Avenger.
I gotta pause real quick, guys, because I'm. Yes, but I'm going through the match, the Shotzi and Ember match. I mean, we're gonna get there eventually, but
it's towards the end.
I mean, it's a pin, right, but I'm just laughing my ass off at this Prince wannabe that literally took off his shoe and threw it at the ref.
Oh,
like who is this?
Robert Stone.
Robert Stone. There we go. It clearly left my mind.
Like this, like if Prince was a Guido.
But you know the funny part is,
but you know what? I say Prince only because of the flashy, shiny shirt. Anyway,
but the funny part is, it was rumored that Robert Stone was supposed to be a joke of Tony Khan.
Yeah.
Maybe a decade ago? I don't know. How old is Tony Khan again?
I don't
know.
Anyway, like pretty much whenever like Tony Khan was like doing his like Playboy phase, I guess, or like whenever he was like, you know, just being a billionaire phase.
Yeah.
But
Tony Khan's 38.
38.
Yeah, so I could see a 10 years ago Tony Khan being like that.
Robert Stone should be damn near around the same age.
I would assume so. Let's just say I'm just gonna type.
I mean, he had a pretty long career in TNA.
Yeah,
that's why
37.
37. Okay, I'm about to say I know Robert Stone should be around the same. Oh, in case we've been wondering, Aleister Black apparently has been dealing with injuries. That's why he's been gone.
Plural. Holy shit.
Apparently, he has a bunch of minor injuries. And I guess he's been healing up and resting up. So apparently that's why Mr. Black has been gone. And apparently, word has also came out that Keith Lee had some type of health issues. They didn't expose what, but that's the reason why Keith Lee hasn't been there.
And you know what? I'm gonna say, and of course, I would hate for there to be any issues with him, but I'm gonna say that it could be a blessing in disguise. Just keep him off TV. Hopefully, the situations are minor and
Yeah,
just slowing him down rather than impeding him in any like detrimental way. But I think it might help him in the long run to keep him off TV and to kind of
I can
wash
see that.
away that bad taste on the palate already of what he's had to go through so far with the whole shit with Drew, Orton, and everything in between. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense.
Get well, Keith, as well as you, Black.
Especially
I,
those two.
I think that is
Yes.
all my news. Jaeger, if you want me to catch you up real quick, the main thing we really talked about before you jumped on was there could be a potential interest in WWE and Tessa, only because Funaki has a wrestling school in San Antonio, and Tessa
Oh,
was spotted training with Bailey and Sasha. So
is she in San Antonio or something?
I don't know. Maybe
Oh, I was just wondering what the Funaki relation was. Like, does she train with Funaki?
I don't know. Maybe she needs a friend, and Funaki was there to help.
Maybe.
Who knows? But if that's all the news you got, Scoot, we can go ahead and dive right into ye old NXT.
Yeah, that's it.
Which I will say this before we even get started with NXT. It was a slow burn for me. Like that's as far as the beginning of NXT kind of didn't have me engaged as it did when it got into like I guess the pre-middle of the show. And then I was like all for it. But to start off, we kind of jumped right into it, and that was the tag match between Zoe Stark, Io Shirai versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, continuing on from the events that happened last week, where Dakota Kai wanted this match to basically enforce the strength that her and Raquel had moving forward. Again, I stand by my
You're gonna look
stance.
good with that championship, girl.
Yes, she will. I will. I'm gonna stay on my stance until Zoe Stark changes her ring attire. She just it's so bland to me. Like I wish, and I know it's gonna change eventually, but
you
I
know
can't.
what the thing is though? Every time you say that, and I watch Zoe Stark, and I look and I'm thinking to myself, what could it change to though?
I mean, shit, a singlet, fucking long tights with a different top. It's so fucking generic that what she has right now. Because I tried to picture it last night when I watched it. I was like, okay, if she was in a takeover main event or marquee match, could I see her taking the title? And if she did take the title, would she look like somebody that I would see as a champion?
Yeah.
Like, and I look at them like there's no real unique look. Like if you go across the landscape of what everybody has, even Aaliyah right now, somebody who is probably used as enhancement talent, has more of a look than Zoe Stark. And they're pushing Zoe Stark.
Whoa.
So yeah, like that's my thing on that end. I don't get why. Like, and again, thing on that and again, they may be taking their time with her. So who knows? But at the same time, they still have the spotlight on her where they're pushing her.
Yeah. I would say To be perfectly honest with you, I was actually surprised at the outcome.
What of the match?
Yeah, I thought Stark, and Io were gonna take it.
Nah, I
wasn't
can
expecting
see
Asuka and Raquel to win.
Small.
Oh wait, hold on.
Is it me?
I don't know who
I don't know who that is.
Hold on.
Hello?
Hello? Hold on, let me.
Wait, I hear an echo off of Lip and myself. So Scoot.
Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
hear Scoot. I hear you.
Oh wait,
There's no echo now.
There's no. Oh yeah, I think we're good.
There is
We're
no
good?
echo. Yeah.
but
Okay.
no, like so back to what you were saying, Scoot. Like I think I was hoping for this outcome because and it's like we talked about last week when I talked about like because we all believe that Raquel's going over on Io.
Yes.
I just don't want Dakota to get left in the dust on this end. So I want her to continue to look strong. And I feel I feel that Zoe was put into this match primarily to take the pin.
And then when I actually saw how it went down with Raquel though, did you see the way she woman handled Zoe with one arm, big booted Io off the ropes, and still delivered that devastating one? I mean Raquel though.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then she went out there and was like, nah, Io, I'm gonna go and give you this too, right quick. And gave her that power bomb on the announce table.
Yeah, and that's what that was after Dakota tried to get back into the ring, and then Io stopped her, and then Raquel big booted Io, and then it's like this is why I think this is gonna happen. Raquel's gonna win.
I just watched that exact segment. I just watched the exact segment. No. I'm just looking at it right now. She picked up Zoe Stark mid choke slam, big booted Io Shirai, and then went back for the slam.
And went back for it, all in like a fluid mode. And you know the thing is too, I really do appreciate somebody like Raquel who actually gets it and who's actually let me pause.
Like who's playing the
gets it and actually do it, because the thing is that this is what Nia was supposed to be.
Right?
Thank you.
This is what Nia was supposed to. I mean, granted, Raquel is taller, but Nia was supposed to be this powerhouse like that. And I can appreciate, because you got to think. Let's really call a spade a spade.
Jesus.
She would have dropped Zoe, or she would have did something. If that would have been the same kind of spot that Nia would have supposed to do with holding
Nia would have
Zoe,
hurt somebody.
She would have hurt somebody, or maybe herself.
The way that she just casually just did this freaking big boot to Io,
like it was very casual.
Yeah, no, she just casually lifted up her leg. No problem whatsoever. It was very Kevin Nash.
And like I said,
that's
I
why
get it. I get that, her being 6 foot and everything, but still, she's not a box machine like Nia is.
Well, that's why I like how Raquel and Rhea do their in-ring versus Nia and Tamina, because Rhea and Raquel get it. They understand like what it means, because they again, and I've praised Rhea for her selling ability, even though she's tall woman as far as like stature goes. She's still able to sell when she gets hurt and still look strong in the event of a match. And the same thing with Raquel. Raquel can still look hurt, but she can still be dominant within the match and understand like the psychology it takes to be a big woman within a match. And I feel,
ain't it crazy to think that Rhea is like 5'8", 5'9", but that's
I
like
think she's
so tall.
5'9". Yeah, she's 5'9".
That's like so tall compared to the women.
I thought she was like 6 foot.
No.
Rhea Ripley is
Raquel is
only like
legitimately
5'9".
Raquel's 6. Yeah, Raquel got to be like 6 foot, right?
Yeah, Raquel is 6 foot, but Rhea's only like 5'8", 5'9".
Mm-hmm.
I'm taller than Rhea, and she can definitely kick my ass.
Let me just double check what
I
Rhea's
just I just
height
want her to
is.
be taller than me right now. Like
Yeah,
this whole
Rhea,
time
okay,
I was
no,
sold.
Rhea's height is 5'7".
Oh, 5'7". See, it's even
It's
less.
even worse.
Yeah, Raquel is 6 foot even.
I was say, I
Wait,
know
so how
Raquel is like
short is everybody else? Like, how short is?
that's
Let,
why I was getting that.
That's your
That's why I
point
was
that you were
getting
getting at. Yeah, yeah.
Io
I
Shirai
was like,
is 5'1".
What
and I
Just
about
to
know
give you an
Dakota
idea.
Bliss
Kai?
is at 5 feet even.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Kai?
Uh,
I has probably about to be the same.
She's gotta be like 5 even.
Dakota
At the most
Kai.
5'2".
Let's see height. It wants to pull. Oh, it doesn't want to pull up for me. Hold on.
I'm skipping ahead right now. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna talk
Oh,
about it.
wow. Dakota's 5'6".
Oh, okay.
Huh.
Damn, she's right under Rhea. Shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Huh. Which means that Shayna Baszler's about 5'6".
I think Baszler was like 5'7".
She's about
I thought.
yeah, she's about the same height as Kai, so 5'6" or
Yeah,
5'7".
Shayna Baszler is 5'7".
5'7". And
Yeah.
which is crazy because like we're naming all of these heights, and my mom stands 5'9".
Wow.
So
Okay.
my mom would be legit taller
Yeah, yeah.
than most of the women except for Raquel. Like that's crazy to just like put that in perspective.
How tall are Sasha and Bailey?
Probably around that 5'4",
Let's see.
5'5"
They probably got
mark,
probably 5'5".
maybe 5'6" ish,
Sasha Banks is 5'5".
5'5".
Yeah.
Then I think Bailey's a
Bailey is
little
5'6".
taller. Yeah.
Yeah, right on it. And Carmella's 5'5" as well.
So yeah, that's
Jeez.
just crazy.
Yeah. Charlotte is 5'10".
I was like, yeah, I know Charlotte was kind of tall.
In my head, I do not remember Charlotte as taller than Rhea.
Me too, right? Now that you said
Right?
that, yeah.
And that's weird, right?
Right?
And she is 3 inches taller.
Yeah. No, like she is 100% taller, but
Yeah.
I see it the other way around. To me, Rhea's just a bigger person.
I think it's the way that Rhea carries herself.
Very true. She's
Yeah.
got that
I can agree
swagger
with
to
that.
her.
Yeah.
But I will say this. I hope in this case Zoe stays in the route she's going because she really does have potential with her look and her in-ring ability and everything. I mean, I know Mr. Diesel hopes one day she updates the unit, but
You got
as
it.
of now, I see nothing wrong with it.
I do see her gaining that championship eventually, but because here's the thing, I don't think Raquel's gonna hold that title for long. She's gonna have it, but I think it's gonna get to a point to where they're just gonna shoehorn this title onto a lot of people in a short period of time. Because I think, just like Scoot said, with them bringing in a lot of female talent, they're gonna try to get everybody their dues, basically.
I will say this personally. If a legit renaissance, in a sense, is about to happen, I see a lot of current NXT superstars going to the main roster before this year is over with.
Staying.
Now, I don't know if they're going to still stick to the typical, oh, we do it at the WrestleMania, oh, we do it at the SummerSlam, or this and the other. Or I can truly see Raquel potentially holding the belt from now until maybe Survivor Series, and they might try to get her in this year, but definitely next year. I can see Dakota getting called up. I don't know where she's going to land on the roster.
He's gonna feud
But
with
I
Bailey
think
and
what's going to
Sasha
happen
probably.
is, I think Mr. Deasley's prediction is going to be correct. I think Lady Kane, aka Captain Marvel, is going to be the one to take the belt off of Raquel, which that would break my heart, but at least I know she'll be moving on to hopefully greener pastures
Yeah.
and becoming champion on either Raw or SmackDown. But I do definitely see a resurgence in Raw and SmackDown's women division very soon.
Yeah, because they're
Like
they're gonna
I definitely
bring
see a lot of women that's going to get called up just to fill in the rosters.
they're gonna bring Raquel up as a strong opposing potential threat to Rhea, and they're gonna have Rhea get that win over Raquel.
Most likely.
Just to solidify her championship run. Now, that's not to say that Raquel's not going to get the championship, but she's really going to be brought up as a catalyst just to show how strong Rhea is as a champion. To get to and to basically get Rhea's win back from her loss over her loss from Raquel in NXT.
Yeah.
And it sucks for Raquel, but at the same time, it's going to be a good showing for her as well. So, yeah.
Only if it's all booked correctly.
And it should be. It better be.
But once again, we keep praising, and I really do mean it. Honestly, I look forward to all the women segments in NXT first before what the fellas are doing. Okay, you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, right now, if it wasn't for this Finn and Cross and Cole and O'Reilly situation, I wouldn't really care too much what the men are doing. It's like, man, you can make the whole show based on the women, and I am there.
And we're definitely going to get into that because
and not even in the chauvinistic way.
And not even in the chauvinistic way. Like, honestly, you know what? Like, real talk, honestly, I would not be surprised before this year is over with. Evolution 2 will be on NXT.
Who's going to be Evolution 2, though?
All the women of NXT.
And they might get you mean like the pay-per-view? I thought you meant like the stable Evolution.
No. I'm talking about the pay-per-view. My bad. I'm talking about the pay-per-view. I have a feeling NXT might do it again. Like NXT might make Evolution 2, and they might get women from Raw and SmackDown to come to probably do a couple of dream matches here and there. But I can definitely see Evolution 2 being an NXT thing, and I am 100% here for it.
It would make the most sense for it to be an NXT thing. So I am definitely all for it. But of course, Raquel and Dakota go over. I'm happy about that because Dakota still looks strong. Raquel looks strong going in against Io. I still believe that Raquel is going to win. If Raquel does not win, I would be utterly surprised.
Same.
Because I wouldn't be able to tell you who's going to take that title off of Io. Period. It should be Raquel. It needs to be Raquel.
Do you think they wait to date? No, I'm not going to promote that discussion.
It just because it needs to promote the strength of Raquel, because there's nobody else that you could basically put up against Io after Raquel that could take the title. Like this isn't a Finn Balor situation where it's like Finn's been through all these wars and somebody's going to come in to pick the bones off of Finn. This is, and I'm going to get to that promo. Like, trust me. But Io has been extremely dominant through all of her defenses. She hasn't come out scathed in any way, shape, or form. So there's no way to be like, okay, well, all right, Raquel can beat her, but she came by the skin of her teeth. Here comes somebody else to pick the bones. Unless it's Dakota. That's the only way you can actually do that right. But at the same time,
even then, But even then, by the time Dakota would even get a shot, she being quote unquote recovered by then.
Exactly. So
So
yeah, give it to Raquel and then have them go from there. Period. Leave it at that. But of course, Dakota and Raquel go over. They look strong, and Raquel added the cherry on top by putting Io through a table or through the announce table and leaving it at
Yeah.
that. As far as segments, I don't think there was any segment
There
after
were
that.
2, only just because I just witnessed them. LA Knight did a segment of him
Okay.
like for his debut, and then prior to that, sorry, I got him backwards. But first, it was Kyle O'Reilly making his entrance into the building, and
Okay.
what's his name? Roddy Strong decided
oh
to
yeah,
have
yeah,
a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
words with him. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Roddy
Yeah.
said both of y'all can go to hell.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm glad that they did this breakup with Undisputed Era the right way, where it wasn't like them clinging on to lost hope. It was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Mm.
Everybody's an
Oh,
ass.
Roddy posted on Instagram, it's time to worry about knee now. Hashtag Messiah of the Backbreaker.
And stand true to that
Not
because
a bad
he is
name.
definitely specialist.
So
Um, but of course, with all that
wait,
was
hold
probably
on. Before we continue though, only because starting off that segment, poor Bobby Fish.
yeah, man, for real.
Like
You
like
get injured and lose a whole stable.
like Bobby Fish gonna come back and be like, what the fuck?
What happened, everybody? Like, why is this happening?
I take another injury and then I lose all my friends.
Like, jeez.
Right?
Was I really the glue?
For real though.
But what happened after all of this was probably the first surprise of the night, and that was within the match between Bronson Reed versus LA Knight.
Yes, definitely.
Because when this happened, I was convinced that this was going to be some type of fuck finish where it was just completely no contest, and it wasn't going to last that long at all, and they were going to hold this off until Stand and Deliver. And then when it kept going on, I was like, well, clearly they're finna let LA Knight win.
Mhm.
And it didn't happen like that.
No,
And
once again, if I was a betting man, I would have lost money.
completely. Now, I will say this. In normal cases, if you're trying to build up somebody, I would be like, yo, this is the wrong decision to make. You should have LA Knight go over. But
This
with
was his
me,
debut match, right?
No, it was a
no,
second match.
it was the second match.
Second match.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely still should have went over. Anyways.
correct. But when Bronson Reed went over, I was surprised, but I was happy though, because
So,
That's fair.
with him looking strong, because here's the thing, NXT and WWE in general needs a big man like Bronson Reed. You know,
yeah,
you need your Vaders, you need your Visceras, you need guys like this,
Bam Bam Bigelow's and
correct,
stuff
Yeah.
to
like
be
that.
able to be a staple and just in an iconic way. And Bronson Reed is a package in himself. I'm not gonna say he's a total package, but he has charisma, he has mic skills, he has the in-ring presence. And I'm gonna say that because the way that he presented himself in this match and even after the match is what convinced me that this was the right decision.
Well, honestly, I felt whenever he had debuted, I was kind of like, okay. But when they actually started, when they was referring to him as the thick boy and now the colossal and everything, I was like, you know
Mhm.
what? He's actually legit coming into his own.
Yeah.
And it seems like the only thing that will mess him up is if he really starts getting bad booking or he gets in his own way.
Yeah.
But he really does legit. Like, I can definitely see a Bronson Reed being on the main roster, and I can potentially see in him as a U.S. champion at some point
Yeah.
and things like that. Like, I can see him being a very strong mid carder, and maybe he might get that. He might get that. I get a title run rush, but maybe not get it. But to
Yeah.
show that he could actually go against the champs
And
Or
that's
the
where I'm at now.
at the point.
To see him basically as like an upper mid card, can compete for the
Yeah.
world championship, but not necessarily get it, but still
Yeah.
be like a top contender. He still has like this much more to go before I'm like, yo, he can win that shit. But right now, I'm like, yo, in what they've announced later, which we'll get into, I'm like, yo, he could possibly win that.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that conversation later. But yeah, I was surprised that LA Knight lost, but I wasn't surprised in a bad way. I was more surprised that they went with that decision and they kept it from Stand and Deliver.
Yeah.
But I think it was more so that way they can put them into this gauntlet match, because I know they got the battle
Is
royal.
LA
But I'm
Knight in
pretty
it
sure,
too?
huh?
Is LA Knight in it?
Mm-hmm. They're both in it. They're both
Okay.
in.
I knew Bronson was in it, but I couldn't remember if LA was in it.
Yeah, because I think I'm pretty sure both of them are going into the gauntlet.
You think so?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I mean, if I look at which, you know what? Now I'm gonna save it for when I talk about the when they get into that segment, because I'm gonna praise that whole segment in itself.
Okay.
But yeah, I do think that they're gonna go over into the actual gauntlet match, and then go from there. But I think this is gonna be a feud that moves forward. But I also think that I do technically think right now still, because it may change, but my stance is still where it is. Where LA Knight, I feel like he's not even going to go towards the North American
He's gonna
Championship.
end up becoming world champ.
Yeah, that's gonna be his first championship, if only in NXT.
Okay.
Now it could change depending on what happens within this gauntlet and in this battle royal. But right now, I still feel like they're basically stacking him and Bronson Reed up against each other, to where it's like, okay, Bronson Reed is going to go through the levels where he's going to win the North American Championship and may compete for the world, but LA Knight is going to just shoot up completely and go straight to world.
Whoa, we don't need all these drugs involved. That's terrible policies there.
Yeah, we don't want them shooting up like that.
No.
That's bad.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
But yeah, no, I mean this match went longer than expected, and it's the first of two matches that I felt went on longer than expected. Yeah, because I was more surprised, and I think I watched this match out of just sheer shock that it was going on this long. Because in my mind, I convinced myself that this match is going to be a few minutes at best, a few seconds at like the very least.
Yeah.
Over and done with in some way, shape, or form. And then it was going to carry over into Stand and Deliver. Completely got me. So you win it next
Well,
team.
I guess since at the end of the night, the way they broke down Stand and Deliver, I could definitely see why this didn't carry over into Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Stand and Deliver too, because that's one thing I did want to talk about with NXT versus main roster, is that they are fleshing out this card in a less amount of time, and I'm more invested in this card on both nights than I am in WrestleMania as a whole.
Yes.
One night alone has me more invested than WrestleMania as a whole. That second night is just an added bonus. That's the crazy thing about it. And they have more than a half of their card already completed, rather than WWE's 2 nights. I think.
Oh no, it's done. Stand and Deliver is done. I think the only thing we'll talk about it later, but I think there's no more matches being added to Stand and Deliver. I think it's
completed.
I think it's complete.
Crazy, fucking crazy. I'm
sorry,
but yeah, shout out to both Bronson Reed and LA Knight for this match, because again, I mean, I know I glossed over it, but it still was a good match between both of them as far as like character work and everything. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna say personally, when it comes to both, this is not a NXT shot. This is both NXT and AEW. This case, I lose all interest when they do picture in picture. Anytime a match goes to picture
Same.
in picture, I do not pay attention.
Same.
Yeah, I'm getting there now.
Same. Like
Definitely getting there
100%. You could tell, like JR, you could try and hook me every Wednesday night on picture in picture, because like if there's one damn thing that he's got, it's the timing on that.
The
But
moment both of them
yeah.
companies say something about picture in picture,
Yeah.
I am zoned out until
Dude, I'm on my phone. I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
AEW has it worse. AEW does it way worse. Where like they it's like picture in picture is the phrase to them.
Yeah.
No, it is the catchphrase. Like keep the attention here, folks, because we'll bring it to you in picture in picture. I was like,
but then not only that, but I think the reason why I think I dislike AEW's picture in picture a little bit more is because they try to entice you with certain wrestlers.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh shit, Ray Phoenix just did a double, triple flip. Okay, I missed it because it was in picture in picture. I missed it.
No, but for real. Like, if all honestly, just give me back, or just give me the highlights of what we missed through the commercial break.
I'd rather you just go straight to commercial than give me picture in picture.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, that's a great idea. However, my attention span is that of a gnat, and I'm not gonna watch.
I mean, the moment they say anything picture in picture, well, that's time for me to tune out for a second.
We'll be right back after this.
And
but
I
you're
will
not
be
going
to. Exactly, Loki. Exactly.
All right, that's enough. I hated it too, but boy. Right?
I like how he gave you that one extra.
It's because they pass by, and that's when he initially barks, and then the stairs are within view, so he sees them on the stairs. So
he
gets
gets
like
all of that.
Yeah. Hey, you go in the crate? No, you don't want to go in the crate. All right.
All right, Mr. Deasley, what was the next segment?
The next match outside of those segments was actually the other match that I didn't expect to go as long as it did, and that was the Oney Lorcan and Karrion Kross match, which I expected to be a squash.
Wait. Scarlett, though.
Hey, before we get to Scarlett, though, well wishes to Danny Burch. Unfortunately, they had to relinquish the tag team titles, and we found out later what was the result of that. But back to the regular scheduled programming. Scarlett.
that was the crazy thing about it too, is because last week when I watched that match, he was taken out of that match, and at first I thought it was just like straight work, like okay, we're gonna play this up, and then it went on for so long that I was like, oh no, he might be actually hurt. So yeah, it turned out that was the case.
He was actually hurt.
Yeah, and it sucks because I feel, and this is where I got mad with this match, because I'm like, okay, you finally made Lorcan and Burch your tag champs, and you book them horribly, but yet you have this match with Lorcan and Kross. Why haven't you built your tag teams? Why haven't you built your tag champs like this the entire time, rather than have them look like stooges throughout the process? Because if you have a match like this, that's really okay. I can see why they're tag champs, because they're able to work out individually like this against probably one of the most dominant superstars in NXT right now.
And I think that's probably what they were trying. I think they was trying to bank off of the reason why this match was so quote unquote physical. They was trying to remind y'all, hey, remember Lorcan was a physical guy before he became, but y'all booked him so horribly with the whole Pat McAfee situation, because like you said, they look like stooges rather than actual tag champs. Like there was never at a time where Fish and O'Reilly looked like stooges in Undisputed Era.
You see, that's exactly what kind of hurt me coming back into NXT. Because I remember Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch from prior to them becoming part of whatever Pat McAfee's crap was. But
Mhm.
that was exactly my impression. It was just like they were like everybody behind Pat McAfee was a stooge, and they had no
Mhm.
relevance. I was like, I know those guys look familiar, but I don't remember who they are. It's like, oh wait, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. I was like, oh yeah, all right,
Mm-hmm.
okay, great. Don't know why.
And that's the crazy
They
thing
already
about
had
it.
names for themselves. There was no reason for them to join Pat McAfee. Like,
I mean, storyline purposes, I get why it made sense, but at the same time, it's almost like they did it, but they diluted what they were previously.
Yeah.
And that's what
Okay.
I hated, because it made sense when they joined Pat McAfee, but then it's like, why would you do that, but then not carry on what they built up to that point?
Yeah. They built up themselves as a scrappy tag team that's
Mhm.
willing to put. Hell, I remember that time where they had that takeover match with Undisputed Era, and everybody was like, "Yo, this match was better than we expected it to be."
Yeah.
Since Lorcan and Birch was technically part of it.
And not to mention, Birch competed against Dunn for the UK championship on, I think,
Yep.
either the third or fourth NXT NXT UK show.
Yep.
So
Before
why
he made
not
the
take
full
from that?
transition.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me on why you wouldn't just carry that over. It's seamless. It should not be. It should be completely effortless. But
That was
neither
one of
here
the times
nor
they dropped the ball, but you know.
yeah.
semi relevant, only to like get us back on track to the match. But I don't think I could ever watch a Karrion Kross entrance live, because this is like the only time WWE's rapid camera work like works
Oh
best
my
for them.
God.
Like a Karrion Kross entrance is so well done.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
Dude, I just watched it again. Like, I just watched it right now, and
like him and Scarlett's timing.
I constantly get goosebumps from these entrances, man.
Yeah, like their timing is amazing. Because the
Mhm.
fact that how the fact that they come out together, she jumps in front of him singing the lyrics, she gets
Yes.
in the ring, and when she quote unquote falls and prays, Cross is
Mhm.
usually always
Right
right there
behind her.
behind her.
Yes.
Like the
And I know
timing
that
is impeccable.
exactly. And I know that you are not going to get that same experience if you go and see this at a live show. But damn it, I'm
You
still
get them
probably going to be at the
frantic
live
ass camera
pay-per-view.
cuts and shit.
Huh?
So you're gonna get them frantic ass camera cuts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stare at the freaking big screen for his entrance. But yeah.
Yeah, it might have to be something.
Yeah,
Hey,
but this I mean, outside, I mean,
WrestleMania
yeah,
though, boys. WrestleMania though,
the
guys.
the match in itself was cool, but this was, I mean, the most notable thing out of this match was just the chop heavy offense in this match, where Karrion Kross's chest and neck, for that matter, was welted, bruised, just yeah. And I don't know where the blood came from when he was about to do his post match promo, but it came from somewhere. I don't know if it was from one of the welts or what, but
Lorcan just hit hard.
Yeah, he got hit hard throughout the match. So shout out to Lorcan for being
Lorcan sound like one of those Alien Dragunov Cesaro type dudes where they look so small, but they'll hit your ass.
and this was only the start of the chops heard around the world in NXT. Trust me, we definitely will get into. Ironically enough, it's after this, but
hey, all I'm saying is I'm gonna just start calling him from now until if they ever decide to change his character, Mr. Big Dick Energy.
Karrion Kross?
No,
Finn.
Balor. Because and
the thing
this is
is
what
that,
I want.
Okay, so hold on. The thing is that with Finn standing 5'10" roughly, and Cross being 6'4",
yeah, okay, fair enough.
Balor is not showing not an ounce of intimidation.
Yeah, And
even the promo he told him, which I can't remember it word for word, but he basically told that man, if you don't get your emotions in check, I'm gonna beat you, fam.
no, and this is what I liked about this promo, because let me just cut. I'm going to get into the promo, but I'm going to cut to the chase right now. Yeah. This whole time, I've been saying that Cross is going to beat Finn. I've been just, my stance has been firm on that up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
After this promo,
have you been telling us about that? Oh,
after this promo that Finn cut, I'm like, yo, Finn could take this.
I told you. I was like, I think Finn could possibly win.
And here's the reason why. And this is why I like that, because Finn did two things in this promo. He basically addressed the Demon Finn aspect in this promo, and then addressed the weakness of Cross. So going off the first part, he said that he had to get rid of his weakness. He said basically what most people think is like they have to tap into this demon aspect to confront their emotions. But what I realized is that what my demons were just me fitting into my emotions.
Was a crutch.
Yeah. And so I didn't need that. So basically any question that we had is like, yo, is Demon Finn coming back? No, it's not. That was his way of saying, yo, this shit is dead. Perfect. And he said once he tapped into that,
I'm A-okay with that.
Same. Absolutely. Same. And so what he said, he basically told Cross, he's like, yo, I know, like, after last week, I see your weakness. You gave me your best shot and I'm still standing. It's like your weakness is that of a child, is because a child feeds into their emotions. And it's like, you're either going to do one of two things. You're either going to overcome your emotions or your emotions are going to conquer you.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and I believe that what's going to happen is that your emotions are going to conquer you, and I'm going to beat you at that point. And that's the case. And then when I heard him go through that whole spiel, I was like, yo, Ben could win this.
Ben could win.
Like, fuck my whole fantasy booking of him losing and going to NXT UK to beat Walter. I'm like, he may just stand tall, and then Cross may just say fuck it and go to the main roster.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Finn ended up winning and Cross goes to the main roster.
Yeah,
I just see Cross going to the main roster.
Same. I just didn't want him to go this soon. Like I thought, but now after Finn saying what he said, I'm like, you know what? If Cross loses, there's nothing else that he can really do right now.
I mean, and let's really put it in perspective. Drew was only in NXT a year. I mean, granted, he got injured, and that's what fast-tracked him in there. Because remember, once his injury was healed, he showed up with Dolph Ziggler on Raw. So, and I mean, Bobby Roode was only there for a year. Shinsuke was only there for a year. Joe was only there for a year. So, why not?
What Balor did unintentionally, which I seen, was that he basically made it okay for Cross to lose.
He did.
Without looking weak. So I'm like, if that's the case, if he goes to the main roster, it's not going to be like, oh shit, you lost. You're trash right now. It's like, no, it's like, okay, you go to the main roster. Are you going to overcome what you had succumbed to during this point in time?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then that leaves LA Knight to take the title off of broke down Finn after going against Cross.
Oh, but let's go back to what we kind of glossed over a little bit, but Scarlett though.
Oh, I got to pause.
Well, we know Jaeger didn't.
No, we got to go back to what Jaeger had said. Scarlett,
but guys, but Scarlett though.
Scarlett though.
Anyway, even when she's like, even in the back of this promo, as Finn is cutting this promo on Karrion Kross, Scarlett though.
All I could think about last week was I can see why Orny Lurkin and Birch got talked into that match.
Accepted that match.
Yeah.
You getting all rubbed on and being seduced and shit.
Hey, what do you want me to do? You want me to fight your mans? Yeah, why not?
You know what? With that, because I know it wasn't like a prominent segment because they talked about it throughout, like as far as like building up the card for Stand and Deliver.
Okay.
Speaking
Yeah.
of the tag titles, I want to jump into what the match is now because we talked
Yeah, we
about
can
it
mention
here.
because they just put up a graphic whenever it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we
they didn't
speculated
actually.
before when because I know Scoot, you posted this to us when they announced the news as far as Oni Lorcan and Denny Burch being stripped of the titles for this reason. I had text that it would probably be MSK versus GYV. I never thought that they would make it a triple threat tag match.
But it makes sense
Yes, no, it does absolutely.
considering Legado del Fantasma has been pretty dominant.
Yeah,
You know what's crazy though? Why do I see them winning?
that's been the weird thing about it is that
Why do I actually see them winning?
I can see it happening. It wasn't because, of course, when you look at these situations, you're like, okay, these guys are meant to take the pinfall in any type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm like, they actually have a chance of actually winning this match.
They actually have a chance.
But who takes the pin though?
That's
If they do win.
So this is the thing. I can see it being a situation if we're okay. I can make a case for all three teams to win the title.
True.
Because kind of like what you said with GYV and MSK, that they're doomed. I say doomed. It's written for them to be tag team rivals.
Mm-hmm.
It's written for them to be the Usos and New Day, the Bar and New Day.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, New Day just be having classics.
New Day's
It's
been
written
around.
for them to be FTR and the Young Bucks. Like it's written for them to be rivals, or Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks. It's written for them to be eternal rivals. Guy Sensei and Kakashi for my anime fans. You know, it's written. So I can make a case for all three teams to win. It's just that it's going to be interesting for Legado del Fantasma to win it because I still think Santos could possibly beat Devlin. So all three will have gold.
Interesting. I'm gonna agree with you on all fronts because I think that's the easiest way to have Legado del Fantasma hold all gold at one point in time and make them look strong. And I do, if that's the case, then I feel that GYV is going to cause MSK, whoever, whether it be Wesley, I think Wesley might end up taking a pinfall, but to have one of them take the pinfall, and then have Legado del Fantasma take advantage of that aspect, and then move forward to carry on the rivalry between MSK and GYV, and to see who basically goes forward to challenge Legado del Fantasma. So,
which will probably be either GYV or MSK in a one-on-one situation.
True.
Ultimately, I do feel personally in my heart of heart, I do feel MSK probably taking it because I think that they were going to be the ones that was going to take it off of GYV in the first place. So I do feel MSK is probably going to take it.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Yeah,
I would lean in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. But I mean, of course, we will get that. We'll get into that when that predictions episode of Hot Tag happens for Stand and Deliver. Trust me, we'll definitely get into that, but you have to wait for that. But to move on into our next segment, which was actually the match that I predicted to be the squash match of the night. No surprise, Walter versus Drake Maverick.
Fam,
Why does
Fam.
Drake Maverick look so small?
Wait. Hold on. I don't know.
No.
I think I was.
You know what? I was gonna let you, but no, man. I need some answers about this man's genetics. Like right when you said Drake Maverick lip, it came on, and it showed Drake Maverick, and he's just so like I don't want to be a cornet about this, but damn it, he's so small.
He is. He
He's like,
is. He's their Marco Stunt, but a better wrestler.
Yeah.
damn, he is their Marco Stunt.
But a better wrestler.
He just
Look,
looks
this
too.
the thing. This the
He
thing.
looks like a grizzled young veteran. Like if you look up a dictionary definition, that would be him.
Honestly, I
He
think I
has the
looked
head of
down.
a young man, the face of like a 40-year-old smoker.
That's a smoker.
Like he looks like a grizzled young veteran. Like
Look, I looked down and I looked up and the match was done. And I was like, wait, did I miss something?
I'm pretty sure
That's-
Walter's entrance is about to take longer than this match.
I think it
no,
did.
it was. No, it was. This match was like seconds long.
Jesus.
Literally seconds long.
Like I'm still watching Walter walk down the aisle.
The match is, trust me, you're probably gonna get a spot on the ropes with him and Jake Maverick, and then right after that, it's gonna be just done.
Jesus.
Like, I
This
felt like
match,
I looked down, looked up, and match was done. Like I honestly, I don't even know how Walter won.
Oh, okay. So here's how bad that match is, or not how bad, but how much of a squash this match is. I did a skip, which is only like 10 seconds at a time. I hit skip twice, and now Tommaso Ciampa is talking to Walter.
seconds long. I know
Holy
this.
shit. I didn't know you meant single digits, dude.
No, trust me. I think at the very least, it's like 8 seconds long. To be honest,
Like,
and
I had
that's the thing.
literally, like, it was something I was doing on my phone. I think I was maybe posting videos or something, but literally, I looked down, look up, and Walter's music was hitting again, and I was like, "Wait, whoa!"
And this is the thing about this is that, and this is why I stated that this show in itself was a slow burn for me, because in the beginning it was like painting by the numbers, and then closer to like I guess the middle is when it started getting like, oh, okay, we really just building for Sandy to deliver. I guess it started with Karrion Kross and Balor, because when this shit happened, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see how this goes, and then it ended, and I was like, okay, I already know what's gonna happen. Ciampa came out and did more than I expected. Because of course, I expected a match between these two. What I didn't expect was him to challenge for the UK Championship.
I like that.
Oh no! I kind of thought that he was going to challenge for the UK Championship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I definitely didn't expect that.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to just be a straight up match. I thought he was going to challenge for the UK title. Because the thing is that, so the interesting thing is, if y'all haven't really been paying attention to the UK side, Rampage Brown is the next challenger to Walter, and he's supposed to fight Walter on that UK Prelude. So I don't know. I think maybe to skip ahead just a tiny bit, was Walter and Tommaso day one?
I believe that it
night one,
is day
rather?
one.
Okay, yeah. So if they were night one, then on Thursday he's supposed to fight Rampage Brown. Well, I guess whoever's the champion is supposed to fight Rampage Brown at UK Prelude.
Okay,
so I don't know if they unintentionally gave a spoiler.
It's night one, but this is one of the reasons why I assumed that it wasn't going to be for the title, because I do remember Rampage Brown having his promos about this.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, okay, well, they're going to have this match regardless of who wins or loses. Walter is going to actually go into the match with Rampage Brown and then have that shit. That's why I assumed it wasn't for the title.
You could actually story build that better too, because then he could like come in the next night and then like be bandaged up and could have had like a slobber knocker of a match, and then that could be like why he would lose that belt. Anyways,
Yeah.
And see, that's why I was
I mean
saying
you
I
can
wondered
still
if they
do that
unintentionally.
anyways. It's just now that the belt's on the line.
I wondered if they unintentionally give a spoiler with knowing the fact that he's fighting Rampage Brown for the belt.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Possibly.
I
We'll
I
see.
still think the surprise is Toothless Timmy is joining Imperium.
I think that's what it's mainly about. Same thing
Yeah.
with this match itself. Drake Maverick and Walter was really meant for the segment after the match between Ciampa and Walter, and I love the build for it. Absolutely, I just hate that it may potentially be spoiled because
Yeah.
Ciampa came out and really cut a nice little promo to build up for it. With him
Like,
basically saying, he was like, when I said I was intrigued, but when I said I was intrigued by you, I really meant I was intrigued by this, pointing to the NXT UK Championship. And Walter, of course, was like, nah.
He was like, no.
And
he was like, what on earth makes you think you worthy?
Exactly,
my guy.
And then the first a chop from Ciampa came to the neck and the bottom half of Walter's face. That was
I could always appreciate. This is one of the reasons why I could appreciate a guy like a Ciampa, and yes, a guy like a John Moxley. I'm giving Moxley flowers. I like how you look at Walter, 6'4", 200-something pounds. He's flanked by Eichner and Bartel, and you still like, nah, fam, I'm gonna still fight you. knowing you're gonna take a 3-on-1 beatdown. You're gonna take a 3-on-1 beatdown, but you're still like, nah, fam, you're gonna get this hit. If I only get one hit, I'm gonna make it worth it. Just like with Kingston. Kingston was like, you know what? If I'm gonna get one hit, I'm gonna make it worth it.
Dude, this hit though, like
the chop from Ciampa was very audible, but the chop, the response chop from Walter,
shit.
I'm about to see it.
To see his hand hit that man's chest like that, that's gonna make me want to fight you for real.
Oh, he grabbed him by the beard.
Yeah, twice. Then he put his knee on his neck.
And he yanked his necklace.
But remember he yanked the necklace.
Mm-hmm. And then the chop happened. They held him. This is an unanswered chop. Like
if it was
full force.
It was pure.
Oh no. I'm good. Don't need it.
Like no, but thing is, when I seen both chops from both of them, I'm like, yo, this match in itself, I can't wait for.
Hey, I just thought of something. For every Walter chop, you get $1,000. How many you think you would take?
Wait, you mean before I crumble?
No, for every chop if he puts you in the corner, and for every chop you take before you crumble, you get $1,000. How many chops do you think you could take before you crumble?
I'll probably take 2, max 3, because I think the first one I'll be like, yeah, that shit hurt. The second one, I'll be like, yo, this was a mistake. And then the third one will be just like, yo, I'm really making a mistake, because I know after the third one, I'm done. Like the second one, I'm done for sure. But the third one would be me being foolish and being like, yo, I can take this third one. Let me get that 3,000. But I'm gonna be like, I'll regret it.
If I could get past the second one, I would. No, because again, like you just said, first one you're acknowledging the pain. Second one, okay, the pain is now real.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get past the second one, I would push my limit.
Yeah. If I can get past the second one, I'm going for 5.
There
You
we
go
go.
for
Yeah, you
5?
know what? That's a
I'm going
good
for 5.
solid number. 5.
I'm
I would
going
go
for,
for
if
5.
I can. Okay. Wait. Let's really be real. If I can get past the first one, if I can get past the first one,
You can go for 5.
I think I'm gonna try to shoot for 5.
Your
All
chest
right.
is gonna let Karrion cross his chest and neck.
I'm probably gonna look like Daniel Bryan, fam. What you talking about?
Look, man, if it gets you either of their wives, I mean, that's a win.
But yeah, I think if I can get past the first one, I think I can take 5.
There we go. Well, of course, we already know that this match is set up for Takeover Stand and Deliver. Another match that was set up. Well, basically, it was set up last week, but the roster, as far as for the match, the lineup changed up because it was supposed to be the women's NXT tag team titles on the line between Shotzi Blackheart and Ember
Oh.
Moon.
My bad. There was another match that might be added, and this was it.
Oh,
This could be added tonight too.
What's that?
The end result of this match.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, Blackheart and Moon were supposed to go up against Aaliyah and
Kamea.
yeah.
Was
Jessica
it Kamea?
Maya.
Oh, Jessica Maya. Yeah, you're right. But apparently, Jessica Maya got injured, and ironically enough, Robert Stone went to grab some aid from his previous signee of the Robert Stone brand, and Mercedes Martinez had to pay off a little ching ching, of course. So she accepted the dollar signs, of course, to basically be Aaliyah's impromptu tag team partner in this match.
She told that man, I'll take the other half after the match.
Yeah. New deal. This is only half. I'll take the other half at the when this match is over with. Which, of course, I will say did kind of I was worried for a second because I was like, wait, maybe they can actually take the titles from them if Mercedes Martinez is interjected into this match.
Well, honestly, to me, it turned into a squash match. It turned from a squash match to a legit match.
Yeah, correct. I'll definitely say that too. And it came off that way.
Hold on. Before we continue, Jaeger, do you have things to say about one Shotzi?
Of course he does.
Which Mr. Beasley needs to update the graphics.
I mean, what can I say that she doesn't already know? You know, I mean,
let her know.
Shotzi, fantastic match. I did not catch her. I guess I didn't see this 69 moment, but
I didn't either.
That's what I'm saying, right? Like, apparently, yeah. But I'm sorry. Johnny Gargano's bit is going on, and he's yelling at Regal. But no, Shotzi Ember, very solid match, good match. Again, it kind of got predictable, but seeing that even though it was predictable, they still had a good match. Like it's always a welcome sight.
You know, I can see I think this is the issue at times I have with AEW more than NXT because I feel sometimes with AEW, the squash, like a squash match and you know who's going to win matches, but then they still give off this competitive contest and it's like, just let that man go ahead and win and call it a day, or let that woman go ahead and win and call it a day.
They could be giving us quicker matches and then giving us more matches. Like, because there are some matches on Dark that go by that are like, this could have been on Dynamite, or this could have been on Dynamite. So, I mean, if you let us, like, call a spade, let a squash match be a squash match, and then, have a couple other ones where they give a solid, like, I don't know, 5 minutes or something. We don't need we don't need picture in picture for every freaking match, man.
No, we don't. We really don't.
That's true.
But I mean, let's fast track it a little bit. We knew what this was about. We knew Indy and Candice was waiting in the wings to challenge
Of course.
for those belts.
I knew it was.
And we've talked about it before. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So this was the match I think that could get added to maybe night 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. Be an appropriate spot.
But
So,
I mean, but as it stands right now, the NXT Women's Championship, Tag Championships, are being presented in a way where they're initially sought after, and I like that. I like that because it helps build the prestige of those tag titles rather than them just being pieces.
I think that's what NXT does better than the main roster. NXT lets you know the women's tag titles, the women's title, the men's title, and the North American title, and the cruiserweight title always has somebody. Hey, when I'm gonna get that shot, though. Wow, with on the like, I'm not gonna count the 24/7 title because that's meant to be a comic relief.
Yeah, it's
which
a
is fine
straight
to
gimmick
me.
title. Yeah,
That's fine to me. But like the tag team titles, it's like when you don't really have tag teams, you can't really. And the women's tag titles, I mean, the women's tag titles have to be filled with so many hodgepodge. I mean, they broke up Fire and Desire just for Mandy Rose to team up with Dana Brooke to want the titles.
which makes no sense.
They broke up Billie Kay and Peyton Royce to where if it wasn't for Lacey getting pregnant, Peyton Royce was in another tag team with Lacey, which was like what? Then
Again, makes
then
no
an
sense.
actual tag team like the Riot Squad get looked over for
Again,
Tamina,
which makes no sense.
for
But
Tamina
didn't they-
and Natalia. So it's
But
like,
didn't they just reform the Riot Squad too?
yeah,
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
they reformed and they still have not had a tag title shot yet.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It's very. So, but yeah, so I like the fact that the way is looking to get them belts off of Ember and Shotzi. But I still think Ember and Shotzi might keep it though.
Better pump the brakes there, Scoop.
No, but I do agree with Scoop.
I said Ember and Shotzi will keep it.
But I think the way,
All right.
of course, Indy Hartwell and Candice, I think they're going to eventually win those titles. But I think their first go at it, I don't think they're going to win. I think they're going to be defeated against Shotzi and Ember. But I think eventually they're going to come back and they're actually going to end up beating them to be the third holders of those NXT Women's Tag titles.
They're gonna do it on a Halloween event again, and then be Scream all over the. All
and
over
of course they'll be defeated by Kaden Carter and Casey
no,
it's the truth.
Yeah,
It's the truth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, no, that would be appropriate timing.
Because it makes the most sense that they would be beat by them because of the type of heels that Indy and Candice are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But either way, we had a backstage segment between Mr. To the Moon, Cameron Grimes, and Roderick Strong, where Cameron Grimes was trying to buy the rights to Undisputed Era to basically use as a marketing scheme to make money off of. And Roderick Strong was already in his own mindset where he was like, yo, I'm not about this. I don't really care. And he let Cameron Grimes have it.
Speaking of, before we continue, they need to make this happen. I don't know how they need to make it happen, but apparently Cameron Grimes said on Twitter, which they posted on Instagram, how come Riddle hasn't came to me with an idea?
Ooh.
Hey boy, if we get Riddle and Grimes on some comedy shit right now, I'm here for it.
You know what? I'd
be here for it.
I'm actually all for that. But actually, before that segment, they did announce the Regal rather announced the participants for the battle royal because there's going to be a gauntlet match, but before
going to be a battle royal next week.
And then the gauntlet match is actually going to happen on night 1 of Stand and Deliver. So the battle royal next week is actually going to consist of 12 competitors, which I'm actually happy for because what they basically did was almost, I guess, intentionally flesh out their mid-card scene.
Yes.
And I like that because when I was able to see that graphic, I was like, okay, well, these are the people that we need to watch for within this. And we've already talked about these guys as well. So they just basically confirmed what we were already thinking. And those 12 participants are going to be Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Kushida, Leon Ruff, Cameron Grimes, Austin Theory, Roderick Strong, LA Knight, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Pete Dunne, Tyler Russ, and last but probably the most least, Jake Atlas, Mr. Vanilla himself.
Wait, Atlas is in there?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, no, I didn't know Atlas was in there. Okay, personally, I'm going to say this.
What does this change for you?
And I mean it. I'm going to dislike this if this is a over-exaggerated way for Dexter Lumis to get a title shot to Johnny.
Yeah, I'd be mad at that too because it should be a shoo-in already based on
Yeah,
the
he should have already been certified.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be mad if all of this is just for Dexter Lumis to end up winning and fighting Johnny, because this would be like, why didn't you just make Dexter Lumis?
Give it to him.
You know what's going to happen now that you spoke about it.
But if Dexter Lumis does not win
like
this
honestly,
match,
they should have made Dexter Lumis #1 contender, and this should have been the next contender after Lumis or something.
And here's the problem with this in itself, because this is why it's bad on both ends. Because yes, if he wins, it's completely over convoluted to where it's like, yo, you should have not had to done this if you're just gonna have to give him anyway. But at the same time, if he doesn't win, he's going to main roster. He's not winning any championship in NXT, period.
I ain't even think about it that way. If Lumis doesn't win, so that's what I'm saying. I honestly think the season premiere of WWE is about to get pretty interesting.
Yeah, because what does Lumis do? What if he loses and he doesn't go to main roster? What benefit does he have in NXT?
Nothing.
To be the constantly creepy man.
But he could be the constantly creepy man on the main roster.
But I mean, he can be the constantly creepy man in a comedic way too. I mean, I don't know. He could be there with Cameron Grimes all over again.
But at the same time, if he does go to main roster, if he does in fact lose this match, the main roster is going to look hella different.
Mm-hmm.
With Lumis, yeah.
With Lumis, with possibly Cross, with other people that's going to the main roster, because at the very least, half of Undisputed Era is going to the main roster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Cole's probably part of that half.
So you think Stand and Deliver is Cole's swan song?
It could be Cole's, Cross, Lumis. Shit. Who else?
Can you imagine Dexter Lumis versus Braun Strowman?
Yes, I could imagine it, and it should not happen.
Not the way they do it, because you know how WWE would do that. But I mean, imagine that like if that were to happen on NXT as opposed to WWE. You know what I mean? That's what I'm.
True. Like my feelings towards Strowman has soured so much, but we ain't on that right now. But so
what the hell?
Can we predict the 6?
Let's see.
Why am I seeing this? Why is this happening?
Wait,
what are you looking at?
Shawn Michaels?
No, that's not yet. Oh, that didn't happen yet. Okay, so matter of fact, let's jump into before we get into like the who we think the six going to be. Let's jump into this real quick because the Jordan Devlin and Kushida match was really just meant for the post match shit. So
And I hated that. I hated that Kushida.
Yeah, me too. And
Yeah.
because I really wish either Jordan Devlin would not have wrestled on this show, or they would have had him wrestle somebody else because Kushida is getting the shit end of a stick. But we've talked about this already. He's not winning the big ones, and it sucks.
No.
But
He's constantly getting the shit into the stick. It kind of sucks.
yeah, and I can't even judge the match in itself because I expect a
Like,
good
why
match
the
between
fuck
these
did
two.
you pair Kushida with Leon Ruff? Anyways,
And so here's the problem with this. It was just made just to elevate what was meant as far as what this match was going to be moving forward. And now when Shawn Michaels, like after this match, after Legado del Fantasma integrated into this match or integrated into the post-match, whatever, when Shawn Michaels' music hit,
the moment Shawn Michaels' music hit, I already knew what was gonna happen.
Exactly. I was the same way. And that goes for anybody who is like just and this is definitely pre-attitude era stuff because this was innovated into because the storyline makes sense. You got two champions, both believe they're the champions. Same thing happened with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship a long time ago. So when Shawn Michaels came out, I was like, oh, ladder match, obviously. Yep. And I'm glad that the commentary did not allude to that. They just said, Shawn Michaels, the expert in ladder match. They used the word. I'm not sure. I can't remember what word they used, but I think it's innovative ladder match. And it made sense because
that was after though. That was after he slid the ladder in the ring.
Yeah.
And I've liked that because for everybody that knew what that meant, it was like, okay, yeah, we're getting a callback to was it WrestleMania 10? I think it was WrestleMania 10.
No, yeah,
was it
WrestleMania.
Yeah, WrestleMania 10. Let me just double check. Let me double check because somebody may come around here and fact check me in the fucking comment section. Hold up. I'm almost sure that it was WrestleMania 10. Let me look at this card real quick. Yeah. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, ladder match. So yeah, and it makes sense. Now Scoot believes that Santos Escobar is going over in this match.
I have a feeling. Okay. So I think it still all rides on if if Legado del Fantasma takes the tag titles.
Well, let's look at Stand Deliver's card real quick to find out which match happens on which night. So, okay. So actually, yeah. The tag match actually happens on night 1, and the Cruiserweight Championship match happens on night 2. So yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. So, like I said, I can make a case for all 3 teams.
True. Yeah, but I mean, of course, we'll get to that in our predictions. So tune in.
That'll be next week. Stay tuned.
But of course, like we said, that was just basically a shoe-in for what was supposed to be presented for Stand and Deliver, which is going to be the ladder match for who's going to be the undisputed Cruiserweight champion. Which I love the respect that they're giving to the Cruiserweight Championship title. Cool.
Yes.
But let's get into what we were getting into before, and that's who the 6 competitors are going to be within that gauntlet match. So, of course, just to recap, we have Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Kushida, Leon Ruff, Cameron Grimes, Austin Theory, Roderick Strong, LA Knight, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Pete Dunne, Tyler Russ, and Jake Atlas.
So, do we think Pete Dunne is going to get his match at Stand and Deliver, or you think?
Yes. That has to be the case because he had a promo again, so that automatically eliminates him from from
do
that
you
match.
think Pete Dunne's opponent could be Roddy?
That would make the most sense as far as for storyline. So I would.
He's looking for a technical wrestler to go against.
And you know what? It would make sense based on the fact of how they built up Roddy as being the ambassador of the backbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a crescendo from everything that's happened from Roddy joining Undisputed Era to the Kings of NXT, and then still bringing up the fact that Dunn was betrayed by Roddy, and then moving forward. Yo, I think that's a shoo-in. So I think that both that takes both of them out automatically. Leon Ruff and Isaiah Soar Scott. One of them has to go.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it's both.
You think both?
Yeah. I think the six to me, I think the six is gonna be Loomis, Knight, Reed, Roddy, Dunn, and maybe Kushida.
Wait, so you're actually putting Roddy and Pete Dunne in the gauntlet match.
Yeah, and they can probably fight Knight too.
Oh, to fight. Oh, so to be in there and then fight.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Or if Pete, or maybe Pete Dunne's challenger that he's looking for might be in NXT UK.
Ooh.
I just thought about that. Like it might not even be. It might be on NXT UK. Whoever he wants his challenger to be.
Okay. No, you know what? I want to save this because this is a good talking point. I want to save this for our predictions because since the gauntlet match is on night one, it leaves good credence to. Oh shit! But you know what? That match is happening next week. We'll already know who the fuck is going into the gauntlet match. Okay.
Sorry. But you know what? For shits and giggles, they might fuck around and put Mr. Vanilla in the six.
I hope not.
For shits and giggles.
But you know what? I do see it because I do see I see Tyler Russ making it into that gauntlet match.
No, I'm talking about
no. I know Jake Atlas, but I'm saying I think because they want to build Tyler Russ up, I think they're going to end up putting him in that gauntlet match. But what I think it's going to be Reed, Loomis, LA Knight, Grimes, of course. That goes without saying.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Grimes. Maybe take out Kushida for Grimes.
Yeah.
I take out Kushida and I put in Russ. And because I'm gonna go with your theory and say Strong and Dunn get taken out to have their own match, and then we throw in Swerve. So my prediction is Reed, Loomis, Grimes, LA Knight, Swerve, and Tyler Russ.
Okay.
Let me see here. Reed, no. Well, you gotta have Braun. You gotta have a big man.
Yeah, you gotta have a big man.
You gotta have a big man. All right, Reed, Loomis. Not finish. Jeez.
Obviously, Loki doesn't agree.
Like, I got 4 more. I got 4 more. Hold on. Hey, you go to the crate? Chill, man. Jesus. Hey, all right, hold on. All right, see? Brother? Rude dog. Hey.
Oh, he's showing that today.
So she's trying to give his own predictions.
He's just mad at the world because he's got a cut on his head You know,
Oh yeah, I forgot. He's old
he's
Conehead
lacking.
Loki.
He's lacking a little something now. Anyways,
Oh,
yeah, Reed, Loomis.
Hmm.
I really want to say Kushida gets in there. Of
Okay.
course, Grimes. That would be fun to see Dune and Strong, but I know. But you know what? You know what? Screw it. Let's see him. I want to see him in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
we go.
There we are.
Scoot, your prediction still stand?
yeah, I think so. I mean, unless I don't know who to replace just in case for Swerve. 'Cause I know how Swerve has been, but I can see how Swerve been talking about he been wanting the opportunity. I can see Leon Ruff ruining that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see Leon Ruff eliminating Swerve in the battle royal aspect.
True.
But I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
It will be, and I'm actually, this is one of the things that I'm most intrigued about, to see how they're going to move forward with their mid card, because it is probably one of the most interesting aspects, because it is more fleshed out right now than the NXT championship title picture.
Yes.
So yeah. But with that could be one or two of the potential people that go into this title picture, and that is the segment between both Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly with the contract signing for their
Man,
pseudo unsanctioned match, I guess.
man, that boy, uh, 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 Kyle's promo. That man say for the first time in 4 years, I'll be able to sleep like. I was like,
And that,
geez.
okay, so now of course y'all have heard me kind of shit. I don't want to say shit completely, but kind of shit on Kyle O'Reilly's. It sounds like I'm saying Riley, but I'm saying Riley. Kyle O'Reilly's promo ability, because it seems
Yeah.
too soft. This is one things that when he actually delivered his promo, where I was like, it makes sense for him to have this level of like just articulation with his promo in this aspect, because he seems like the genuine good guy, because the way that they delivered on both fronts, whether it be Cole or
Mm-hmm.
O'Reilly, the way they delivered it was like, okay, we have somebody who is riding high and hasn't really grown up mentally yet, and you have one
Mm-hmm.
person who looked at himself objectively and is like, I've grown from this. Like, I'm not that same person. It's like, you're still in the past. Like, yeah, we rode high, we did all this and this and this, but there's consequences for the things that we've gone through, or the
Yeah,
things
we
that.
don't have friends in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So yeah, I
And it
actually
made
enjoyed the promos both of them gave.
true, absolutely. And I love how it made a lot of things make sense, where it's like, you had Kyle O'Reilly have his actions with Finn Balor make the most sense, because it's like, okay, yeah, it's weird that he would try to befriend Finn Balor after having match after match with him, but it's like, you know what? I'm tired of being the person that's looked at and vilified because of what we've done in the past. Let me try to make amends by actually befriending people moving forward, instead of just
Mm-hmm.
being hated across the board for what we've done in the past. And I like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it worked in its benefit, because I was about to shit all over this when it first happened, because to me, I was like, yo, this whole promo segment is going extremely long. I don't need
It
it to go
did.
this long. But at the
Should go
same
for a while.
time, I didn't speed past it, because I'm like, yo, let me listen to the message. And it made sense. And I'm glad that I did, because that end segment in itself was perfectly shot.
Mm-hmm. The only
So
thing I thought was cheesy that the whole they were both being held back, kind of face to face. I thought that was a little cheesy, but other than that,
mm-hmm.
it
But
wasn't
they
bad.
and of course, I mean, it goes without saying, But I mean, come on, Regal, Papa Regal coming in, and then just like when he yells at them, I feel like it's my dad yelling at me.
I was
Like,
saying that's why he's the dad of NXT.
because he
Papa
He's
Regal. Papa
I
Regal.
gotta say that he's got like him and Eric Bischoff in their own rights were the best like GMs in wrestling.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
like those are my top two GMs of the weekly promotionals, I guess.
And what's
I mean,
funny is that
Teddy Long makes
kept
them
that
look really good,
stern he
but
kept that stern look throughout both of their promos individually, where he was
right?
like, "Yo, I'm just disappointed." And I love the fact that Kyle O'Reilly even harkened back to William Regal. Was like, he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, Regal despises us. Like, we're not even
He's
in
like
good
he's like,
standings with him."
he's like we got no friends in the locker room. Regal despises us. He's like, come on, at some point we have to atone for what we did.
Like,
Yeah.
that like if you're gonna break up Undisputed Era, I'm glad they did it this way because it makes the most sense. You have
It,
the ego behind Adam Cole, and then you have this genuine, like almost innocence in a way from Kyle O'Reilly that's like the best thing. Because I mean, you can't do that with Roddy because of the fact that he didn't
no.
start with Undisputed Era. He
Yeah.
transitioned into Undisputed Era. Fish, he's more silent than vocal anyway. And the
Yeah.
only person to really compete at a grand scale was Kyle O'Reilly. And at the same time, with the in-ring ability, it only makes the most sense. Like, granted, that's not take away from Roderick Strong. It's just the fact that as far as story and progression goes, Kyle O'Reilly makes the most sense.
Yes, it
So
does.
yeah, and I'm all for it. And I think that they ended the show the best way possible with that. Granted, yeah, the cheesiness between them both being held back, but the intensity that was shown between both of them on opposing sides, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I still may think some of it is cheesy, but I'm still for this match.
They're gonna beat the
And
shit out of each other though.
yeah, and with them being as close as they are, I have all the faith in the world in the chemistry that's going to be built around this match in itself.
Yes. I
And
always
that
say friends make the best matches.
true. And that's the one thing that I say that kind of to me had this show a little bit above AEW this week, but that's only
Mm-hmm.
because again, they're building towards something grander. Um
Yeah.
that's not to say that AEW was a bad show. It was not. It's just the fact that NXT has me looking forward to something within that WrestleMania spectrum to where I'm like, okay, I'm all for the story. AEW, still good, but it's not necessarily building towards it's just continuing on storylines. And with that, of course, is a perfect segue to go into AEW.
I mean, you see who my MVP was of the week by the name I chose.
Scooty Hungy.
So
And we definitely gonna get into that as well.
I don't think I've seen too much AEW news really this week. It was more, I guess, with WrestleMania being around the corner. I guess it's a lot more WWE heavy news. But I guess we can tie this into AEW. But Impact had officially moved their pay-per-view to that Sunday because they said it's supposed to be a major pay-per-view, and major pay-per-views happen on Sunday. So so that pay-per-view will be on Sunday now.
Next Sunday or this coming Sunday?
No, it's I think it's like the 25th or something like that is when their pay-per-view is supposed to be, but they did move it to that Sunday.
Oh, April 25th. Okay.
Yeah, I think like April 25th.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Impact is actually moving back to Thursdays.
Really?
Yeah, starting I think the week of WrestleMania, Impact moves back to Thursday. And apparently to commemorate, I think it's supposed to be Kenny and the Good Brothers versus Swan. Was it Swan and Finn Juice?
It was supposed to be Swan. I mean, when they first started feuding, it was Swan and Motor City Machine Guns. It should be Finn Juice now. Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be a 6-man tag, but I don't think it was Finn Juice.
Finn Juice would make sense. I'm not sure, but Finn Juice sounds right considering that Finn Juice are the current champs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The
And
pay per
that's the
view.
main reason why they moving that pay per view to Sunday, because those are the two highlight matches: Good Brothers versus Finn Juice and Kenny versus Swan, title for title. But that's really all of the.
So that's when that's happening. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for Impact trying to make an impact, but changing from I mean, I guess it's the safe play going on a Thursday because I mean, what's on your Wednesdays is NXT. You still want some wrestling, you can watch Impact on Thursday. Because what's the only thing going on Thursday? 205 Live? Or all right, NXT UK?
Yeah, NXT UK, but that's in the afternoon.
I mean, yeah, there you go. Yeah, your Thursday night wrestling.
NXT UK is like 2 in the afternoon.
Is there anything on Tuesdays?
Well, they still thinking NXT might move to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, well, if NXT moves to Tuesday, that's fine. I mean, that actually, honestly, so cool. Then you get your Tuesday through Thursday. There you go. You get all your wrestling that you want because nobody gives a shit about Monday or Friday. I mean, maybe Friday, but let's just be fair.
That's true.
Speaking of, that's why that whatchamacallit promo was actually kind of funny to me.
Which one?
But we'll talk about it. That Kazarian promo.
Oh yeah. No, but I guess Rhea Ripley might be my new reason to watch Raw on Mondays.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, up until I figure out what they're doing with her, and then okay.
I mean, as of now, I mean, they got her on the track of, like I said, she's going for the title.
I mean, of course she is.
So as of now, it seems
I just don't want her to be like
an idea.
I just don't want her to be like a one and done kind of gatekeeper. You know what I mean? Like she has the title like 1 or 2 times, and then
I think she's going to win.
No. Of course she's going to win now, but I mean, I'm just looking like down the road. Like hopefully she doesn't like have the title like the one time, and then she's like this badass gatekeeper. Like, oh, you got to beat Rhea Ripley if you want to face the champ.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. Like this force to beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
that you always have to beat me if you want to.
I mean, she's gonna be that because she's the new woman. I mean, like nobody else has like face her except for, well, whoever's gonna face her when she gets there.
Charlotte's the only one that faced her.
Yeah. So I'm okay with all of that as long as Rhea gets the win for the rematch. If she doesn't, then I'm just like, all right, Charlotte is God blocked to everything.
Which she is already. But yeah, so AEW baby.
AEW in itself went by pretty fast for me, but that's mainly because they invested a lot of time in their matches last night, and it ironically enough, it seemed like there was more impetus both put evenly on both story and matches, but I honestly do feel that the matches did go a lot longer. And the story kind of just filtered in throughout each match, or in between each match, rather. So, of course, starting off the night, we had the World Championship Eliminator between Matt Sydal and Kenny Omega. Of course, if Matt Sydal won, he would get a championship match with Kenny Omega. This match, to me in itself, it was mainly to showcase Matt Sydal, which was basically to state, okay, you know what? This is somebody here that we have who can compete for the title, which again, it's very weird in itself too, because of the fact that they don't necessarily have like a a template of who's going to be competing for the title at a given time. Anybody
But
can
you
just
know
kind of
what? I
factor
wish
in.
they would. I wish that's one thing I wish AEW would make kind of clear at times, because I don't think, because I mean, let's face it. Apparently, Kenny's next true challenger is most likely going to be Christian.
True.
And the thing is, I don't like the fact that title shots can be just thrown in because he's not about to just randomly lose. Like, yeah, let's say he lost to Matt Sydal and Matt Sydal got a title shot. He wasn't going to lose the belt to Sydal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I think. Just like he's not going to lose the belt to Christian. So that's the one thing I wish that AEW would kind of stop doing, in a sense.
I'm the same.
Predictive or predictable matches.
Yeah, because like I said, I mean, we knew. I mean, like for instance, when Kenny had to go against Ray Phoenix because Phoenix had to go out the tournament, we knew Kenny wasn't going to lose that belt to Phoenix.
True.
Right then and there, because Kenny had like just became champion.
Mhm.
True.
You know, so I wish that they would kind of. I mean, I get the ranking system and I get that this happens and this and the other, but it just makes it kind of like,
Yeah. like our well, damn it, I was in a transition, but never mind. Because there was a nice there was a nice little segment before I transitioned to the next match. I was going to say next match, but the next segment was just full of people that you're not going to see beat Kenny Omega. There we go.
Yeah.
But that was the Dark Order.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's and spoiler alert, Kenny Omega won.
Yes.
So and just like Jaeger's alluding to, is the next match, which I do have certain things to talk about, but it was I'm assuming what you're talking about, Jaeger, is the fact that they talked about Hangman kind of competing, like alluding to the fact that he was going to end up competing.
This segment was about Johnny Silver.
Oh yeah, they had a backstage segment before Hangman's match.
Yeah. And it was like just them just doing Dark Order things, but Silver like dodging coffin drops, which were just
I thought was funny.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny to me. And
then number 5 did his, and like everybody moved.
Yes, he fell back and busted his ass. It was pretty damn funny. But the whole time in the back of that segment is Hangman going through the bar making a drink, and but then he just talked. But it was cool though because he then talks to Silver and he's like, "Hey man, you got this." Yeah, it's like
regardless.
Yeah, he does the little confidence boost before he goes out to the ring. Which is what Mr. Lib Dizzle was getting to.
Yeah, which was, of course, the match between Mr. Hangman Page and Cesar Bononi. Now, this match was predictable in itself, and a lot of matches.
So, once again, you knew damn well Cesar Bononi was not about to beat Hangman Page.
You cannot convince me on any level that Cesar Bononi has not done some kind of porn.
You know what? See, I'm sorry. He didn't have that mustache in NXT.
Dude, he's got the mustache. He's done some kind of porn. Look at him.
He did not have that mustache in NXT, which I find weird.
Now,
probably because he was trying to hide his porn identity. That screams.
That could have been the case too.
And when did he align himself with JD Drake and
Loki,
the other person?
Oh, you're talking about Hollywood Hunk?
Ryan Nemeth. When did he align himself with them two?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Bononi?
Yeah.
Wasn't he with Pretty Peter?
He was.
I thought he was too.
Apparently he's with JD Drake and Ryan Nemeth.
Oh now. Yeah, they came out with him. Right. Oh
Now,
my God.
this is one thing that stood out to me in this match, and I didn't expect it to because I've watched Cesar Bononi go against Cody. I've watched him, I think, in that tag match with him and
And
Peter
Peter
Avalon.
Avalon. That could have been
But
the match that split them up. Who knows?
this match in
Okay.
itself between him and Hangman allowed me to see that AEW is definitely in need of a big man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Cesar Bononi did look good against Page, not necessarily saying that he was like over the top good, but just as far as the aesthetics. Now, Cesar Bononi can step up his in-ring game. This could benefit him in the long run because I do think that it's just as far as just the visual in itself, he looks good in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can step up his game on the in-ring aspect, he could push himself into a position where he could potentially be along the lines of a Brian Cage or a Lance Archer and be in that top competitive scene. Because I think he may be taller than both of them.
He is a big fucking guy.
Yeah. So I think that it's necessary for him to be in that picture. So and it's the same thing I said about Shaq being in the ring against Cody. It's like Shaq allowed me to see that they are in need of a big man, or of some of the sort that could be somewhat dominant within AEW.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the same thing that happened in TNA when Abyss showed up. When Abyss showed up, yeah, they had guys of certain stature, but when Abyss showed up, he had that imposing demeanor to where it's like, yo, I don't want to fuck with this guy.
And that's why Abyss was always in these high profile matches because of that.
He fed into an integral part that was missing within TNA at that time. And Cesar Bononi is at the cusp right now to where he can fit in the same way that Ty Conti is fitting in right now. We'll get to that later on. But yeah, so as a visual aesthetic on how it just the overall package between him and Page when inside the ring, I'm like, yo, the way he looks now, if he can step up his game, he's a shoe-in. He's a shoe-in to who they can use. Period. But Page goes over. Not surprising. Page is who looked good in this match, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And they're keeping him strong. And they even stated on commentary that Page could potentially go against his previous former tag partner in Kenny Omega. So, and I think they're really building up to that, even on the slight air, because of course they never talked about Swan. Even when Omega was going against Seidel, they never built up Swan and Omega.
All right. Let's quick pause right quick. Mm-hmm. Do you feel a little shafted if you were Swan?
Yes, I would.
Yeah. I have no arguments with that statement.
Okay. Because the moment I thought about this and the moment it was coming out, I was like, I think I'd be a little upset if I was Swan, knowing that all of this was just for Kenny to end up taking the belt from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
making sure I wasn't the only one.
Now, do I want to see it? Yes.
Go ahead.
but if I was Rich Swan, I would definitely feel like motherfuckers. Like I would be definitely shafted.
Yeah. Okay. And as much as I'm feeding into the story of Kenny being belt collector, it's more disrespectful to Swan because of the sinking ship that is Impact. Swan has been there. Swan got drafted over there from WWE during the scandal, of course, between him and his wife, and so on and so forth. But he's built himself up to be a loyal member of that company, and to go through that, and of course to be rewarded. I mean, let's not downplay the fact that he was rewarded with both these titles and to be an undisputed champ. Yes, but at the same time to win that and then basically to drop it to Kenny. And of course, there's no evidence that shows that he's going to lose to Kenny, but it seems to be trending that way. So if that's the case,
I mean, especially too in their case, it's title for title.
Yes, and that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
So yeah. Unless there's like a fuck finish where it's just like inconclusive, but at the same time, they're not gonna have that. Like that's not gonna be your main
No,
event
they
where you just
want
say, "Hey."
Kenny to be
Mhm.
quote unquote belt collector.
Absolutely. So yeah. So it kind of sucks for Swan in that way, and he is getting shafted. Whichever way you think about it, yeah, he's a champion. He's being rewarded, yes, but like, how rewarding is it when your ultimate goal is to just win that title, get that accolade, and then just to drop it to somebody else, just
Mm-hmm.
for a purpose of a storyline and not to basically build the title? It doesn't build the title up at all.
It really
It builds
doesn't.
it builds Kenny up, because all he's gonna do is attain that title, have the storyline based on, okay, now I got 2 titles. What can I attain next? That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be different if Kenny was like, okay, I'm gonna take this title here. Let me be a better champ than you were, defend the title for a little bit, and then go on to the next thing after proving his prestige with that title. But that's not gonna happen because it's too much time invested. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's that's really all it is. Now, I could be proven wrong, absolutely, but I don't think so, because everything is within a time constraint, and they're not going to
Mm-hmm.
sit there and waste Kenny as a champ of both AEW and Impact to sit there and build prestige of both belts. They're not. They're definitely not going to do that. They're going to basically give these titles to him to have bragging rights to say, "I won all these titles at the exact same time.
Mm-hmm.
Give me all my accolades." That's it. That's all that this is. So congrats to the best bout machine, because that's what
Yeah.
they're doing. They're just adding on to him basically having a resume. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't he still have the AAA title?
Yep.
He does.
Yeah.
Yep. Because they mentioned it when during the 6-man tag match with Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid, because they mentioned that Laredo Kid has the
Oh,
junior
yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
Kenny
Okay.
still has the Mega Campeon.
That's what I thought I had heard.
Okay. So yeah, it's just carrying on to what else is going on. So, but
But
yeah,
yeah, congrats to Hangman, because like I said, this
Yeah.
was I knew
he had
Hangman was not losing to Caesar.
and he had a couple of page wisers, as they
Yeah.
eloquently said
Is that what
on
they're
commentary.
pushing? They
Yeah,
were
Yeah,
page
that's what they call it, Page Wiser.
But after this was probably for me the start of the show, and that was with Britt Baker coming on to the stage to interview with Tony Schiavone.
Hell of a
And
promo.
Yeah.
she cut one hell of a promo, and she basically voiced every single thing that the IWC was voicing along the way. Because, and when she stated it, it didn't click to me until after she said it, because yeah, we praised that match when it happened between her and Thunder Rosa, but ironically enough, we honestly praised Britt Baker more than we did Thunder Rosa, even though Thunder Rosa won the match.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
when she
Well,
stated that,
you gotta look at it. Look at history when it comes to certain things. Do we remember Taker beating Mankind in the cell, or do we remember Mankind getting choked slammed through the cell and thrown off the cell?
Yeah.
oh,
Do we
that's
remember
true.
Triple H beating Cactus Jack, or do we remember Triple H back dropping Cactus Jack through the cell? So
Yeah.
just like well, bring up Mick Foley for the trifecta. Edge speared him through a flaming table.
And Edge won that match.
Okay, who won the triple threat ladder match when Edge speared Jeff Hardy?
Wait, well, no, the Dudleys won that match.
See, but what do we remember? Edge spearing Jeff Hardy while Jeff Hardy was hanging on the rungs. We remember Edge spearing Jeff Hardy off of that.
Oh wait, no. Edge and Chris won that match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Edge and Christian won, but we remember the spot.
Jeff Hardy, yeah.
And Jeff doing his swanton off the ladder and everything. We remember the spots, but sometimes we forget that, oh shit, wait, technically some of these people do lose.
And you know, it's funny that you say that, because of course,
Mm-hmm.
she highlighted Mick Foley in the
She
majority
did.
of that promo. So
Mhm.
that's a nice little callback to that. So now this gets me to the point to where I'm like, I mean, I've said this before already. Britt Baker is going to be potentially the next AEW Women's Champion.
Look here, I said it on our audio podcast. I can't remember when.
Mhm.
Every day Britt Baker does not have that title, it is devaluing the AEW Women's title more and more.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. Because and we'll get into it when we talk about the shit with the Ty Conti and
Nyla
Now,
Rose.
Nyla Rose match. But yeah, you're absolutely right, because when I see that, it's like it's hard for me to even watch that promo and her not have the title on her,
mm-hmm.
because of the fact that she's a better on-screen promo than the champion that they have right now. And
Because
right
then
now,
only that, because then it would have made her promo even better, because she would have still been champion, because it wasn't
it's an
it wasn't
unsanctioned
a
match.
sanctioned
Yeah.
match.
So I do think that because Thunder Rosa won, that she will get that title match before Britt Baker. Now, whether she wins or not, I don't know. But I do think that she should win, but I think that Britt Baker should immediately take that title from her.
Mm-hmm.
Just for the sake of it just being like that, just nail in the coffin. Because I still think Thunder Rosa is going to end up beating Britt Baker when it matters. But as
I
of
think
right
so
now,
too.
I still think it's like a good slap in the face and bragging rights for Britt Baker to have that title from Sheeta, or take it from Thunder Rosa really quick, to be like, hey, you can't beat me. There's no point where you can beat me when it matters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, like, you can't right now. That's your best women's promo right now, outside of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say Jade Cargill, because Jade Cargill is still having her character, because Jade Cargill is still a very fresh promo. But as far as your best promo within AEW right now is Britt Baker. Period.
Mm-hmm.
So
Where did she
yeah,
go? Like, where did she get it from?
shit, probably Adam.
No, I mean the shit. Like, it felt like the shit just developed overnight. I mean, honestly, it was like during her.
I ain't gonna lie.
Honestly, it was during her injury and everything. But
Yeah.
shit, she really blossomed like during that injury.
She probably Lip is probably right. She probably was
Probably,
like,
Adam.
"Yo, Adam, what can I possibly do to make it just a smidge better?" And he was just probably like, "Yo, just be confident. You got
Yeah,
this."
because Cole's even I don't know if it was the Chris Jericho podcast or another podcast, but he even stated that he basically just studied Shawn Michaels and anybody else that was good in the promo to up his promo game. So it just makes the most sense that she would lean on
Mm-hmm.
him to be like, hey,
Yeah,
what's up?
yeah.
But yeah, every single week that she does something, especially with the previous match of last week and then this promo of last night, it's like I'm becoming a bigger fan of Britt Baker. And even her in ring, like, you can't even knock her in ring. It may not be the best, but it's better than the Miz's. And she's still a good promo. So at this point, you can't beat that right now, especially in AEW
Mm-hmm.
with their women's division being what it is right now. So put the strap on her. Put the strap on Britt Baker.
Yes.
Next up,
Careful
it
there.
was an okay match. Hollywood Blondes and Dante Martin versus the Pinnacle. Of
This
course,
match lasted 5 minutes too long.
yeah,
Yes,
it really
100%.
did.
This
And
should have been. This match should have been the
A run over.
definition of a squash.
Mm-hmm. It really should have been. Now, of course, I'm glad that Sean Spears was the one that got the pin.
Yeah.
Him
Yeah.
looking strong, I'm happy about. I'm happy that he came out with the chair, being the chairman, of course. So that works out. The whole aesthetic and the package of the Pinnacle, I like. I'm glad they changed their music and they actually have entrance music now as a group. So that works for me. The match wasn't bad, like I said, but again, like Scoot said, it should have been a glorified squash
And once
match.
again, and of course, being AEW, which I did mention with both, we knew who was winning this coming in.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
we knew. Now, I think
Yeah.
the best part of the whole promo was Schiavone was like, "How you gonna call out the Inner Circle when y'all beat them up last week?" And they all looked at him like, "Shut up."
Oh, and then Wardlow came in and was like looking at him like,
I honestly thought that was like the best part of the whole promo.
yeah.
Now, I do honestly like the breakdowns of how it's going to go with, of course, FTR, Proud and Powerful, Sean Spears and Guevara, Wardlow and Hager, and of course, Jericho and MJF.
And I was hoping for that. I was hoping that they were actually going to end up doing like a breakdown to where it's like it's going to be these guys rather than it be just being like a whole like all out like stable warfare. And because thing is, when you have individual matches like that, it increases the build and it has it allows to have that longevity, and I like that because it increases the storytelling ability. So when does Inner Circle come back though?
Well, they got beat up last week. They didn't come back this week. I don't know the plans for next week, but I think they should give them one more week.
Okay.
I think they should give them one more week. Let the Pinnacle get one more week of being on top, and then have Jericho in the Inner Circle come back and be like, "Hey, say fam, remember that shit y'all did to us 3 weeks ago?" You know.
Here's the
So
receipt.
I think one more week.
Okay.
You know, whenever they do it, though, I really want them to just not even be sneaky about it. Just come out and beat their ass.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do y'all think this is going to bring back the blood and guts match we were supposed to get last year?
I
Ooh.
believe so.
Yeah.
Unless of course they really feed more into this whole drawn out build.
Yeah.
Where instead of them rushing into like the whole stable versus stable, where they just basically build up like this team like Pride and Power versus FTR and then Sean Spears versus Guevara.
I mean, I think that's still going to happen too, but I think
leading up to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think ultimately blood and guts is going to be the end all be all.
You know what? I think you're right because based on MJF's promo when he ended it basically like, hey, if you're in the Pinnacle, that means you're the best of the best. Basically, their goal is to all of them have gold. So I think that once this hump is crossed for them, they're gonna start going into trying to attain gold in that territory. So
I think there even might be a stipulation with this match.
What, like one could say a faction?
Yep.
Ooh.
Losers break up.
I didn't even think about that.
Because the thing is that if you constantly have the Pinnacle and you constantly have the Inner Circle, they're gonna always fight.
Yeah.
So I think it might lead to a blood and guts loser breakup.
Okay. I can see that. And I think that would entice it a little bit more because it won't be one of those things where it's like, oh, it's the same old. Because if we look at it right now, we can easily be like, okay, well, Inner Circle's gonna break up. But then if you think about it, it's like I don't see Inner Circle breaking up like that though. So it makes it unpredictable at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's and you know what? Because of course, and it's more so or less like I can see the Inner Circle breaking up, but I think it's more so me being like, I just don't want them to break up. So I won't believe it.
Yeah.
Because logic tells me Pinnacle's going to stay together.
Yes. Oh, we missed a segment before this.
Which one?
Christian Cage talking to the Hollywood Blondes and Dante Martin.
Okay, I'm glad you remembered that because I
Yeah.
completely forgot where this whole promo fit. But that was one of the because there were two awkward segments. This was one of them for me, and it was the fact that like, yeah, it was cool. But then when Dasha had went to Christian Cage and was interviewing him, it's like, yeah, we're going over, we're just talking shop, whatever. It was weird. But then when him and Kazarian start talking to each other, it was like, this just doesn't feel natural to me.
You know what? That to me, it showed me that SCU is definitely breaking up. I mean, hell,
Yeah,
is Scorpio
like
Sky even with the group still?
he doesn't even have SCU music anymore. It's that Reach for the
Yeah,
Sky
like they
thing, which
haven't
I
even
really
addressed
like.
Scorpio Sky yet.
Well, I know Scorpio was using his theme on Dark a lot.
Hey, they haven't broken up yet, man. Relax.
So yeah, because and even Kazarian still had like heel tendencies when he was talking to Christian Cage.
Yeah, I would say he was having heel tendencies.
So
Well, at least we're gonna get Christian Cage in his in-ring debut versus Frankie Kazarian.
Maybe they're doing a callback to like WWE stuff where what was it? They would like make you go heel, pretty much, and like,
Yeah.
but they're not necessarily being dragged through the mud though. So they're just probably going heel before they break up or something. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah.
True.
We'll see.
I'm trying to figure out why they're doing two heels now.
Okay, I'm gonna say this only
Uh-oh.
because of what happened.
Uh-oh.
Frankie's gonna beat the shit out of Daniels when they lose their tag match.
Yes,
Since Frankie was
I can
giving off
see
heel
that.
tendencies.
I see that.
The only reason I do see is because, of course, we all know Christopher Daniels has been doing a lot of backstage stuff, and Kazarian has been the most active out of the two. So I can still see him moving forward on the in-ring capacity. So, yeah, I can.
Ooh. Also, maybe they bring this more to light that he has an anger problem because that's a BTE bit for him.
Oh, Kazarian?
Yeah, Kazarian, like he's got an anger issue. Like like was it when Cutler started getting a little bit more relevant after he started like winning matches on Dark?
Yeah.
They started having Cutler bits where Cutler would like do Mark things like God, I can't find these rings, and like Kazarian would come up and be like, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "Oh, the guys told me that I gotta like go find these brass rings and grab them," and Kazarian's like he's like giving him like the third degree, like just bringing up, like burning him down. Like you fucking Mark, like oh you want to look for the brass rings, huh? You want to take a hold of those brass rings, blah blah blah. You fucking like he calls him a Mark. He like talks all this shit to him, and he's like. He's like, dude, you really need to look at an anger management. He's like, I don't need no fucking anger management. But yeah,
jeez.
No, he goes on. He's like, I don't like they don't have a censor bar on BTE. So
yeah,
and I mean, if you know, like you guys know how the Good Brothers are, like the Good Brothers go full brother on BTE as well whenever they're there. But anyways, yeah, Frankie Kazarian, they could play into that whole bit about him being an angry guy.
I mean, I think that's the way that it's going. I mean, as far as him turning heel, I'm all for it. I got no problem with it, mainly because I mean, whether it be on Dark, is it Elevation?
Yeah.
Dark, Elevation, or Dynamite.
Yeah, Dark Elevation.
They can always use another heel somewhere. So yeah, all for it.
Why did they just call it Elevation?
I don't know.
I mean, why Dark Elevation? Just like AEW Elevation. I don't know.
They could have gone with that, yeah. But to continue on with what Jaeger was saying when he brought up Brandon Cutler, that's who was in the next match with the Young Bucks against Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. And the reason why I'm highlighting Brandon Cutler in this is because Brandon Cutler showed out. Now, granted, he did take the pin.
Good shit.
He took the pin, but he did show out. And I'm glad because it was justice, Brandon Cutler. And I want this to be a going trend moving forward because I think they do need to highlight Brandon Cutler some more.
I'm glad they mentioned that Pac was injured because I was like,
I didn't
why?
know.
Yeah, I was
like, why is it not Death Triangle versus Young Bucks and Cutler?
That's exactly what I was too.
Because I was definitely surprised when they said the trios match, and then all I heard was like the Lucha Bros music. I didn't hear Death Triangle's theme song.
Yeah. I haven't seen Laredo Kid in a while. I didn't know that.
They said that. Well, remember, even when when Kenny had said the last time he been there was what, Fyter Fest?
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
So yeah, he hasn't been there in almost 2 years.
Oh, Fyter Fest. That was when Kenny did the Akuma cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been a minute since he's been there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool to see him again.
Yeah, this match, to like, of course, any match with the Bucks and Lucha Bros, I'd be like, yo, top of my
the
match.
Bucks and
But this match in itself,
this was the perfect match of both teams gonna get their shit in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, when I looked at this match, I was like, yo, okay, I can't say that when I looked at the match, but I think it was after the match when I was like, yo, this match is really just meant for this last segment here.
It was.
Because all they did was basically set up what was going to happen the next week and then moving forward. Because, of course, we have Kenny Omega, Good Brothers versus Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid. In another trios match. But you had Brandon Cutler take the pin to make everybody else look strong, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you had Kenny come out and then basically throw shit on Laredo Kid, Lucha Bros, etc. Oh, and as well as Brandon Cutler. He threw a lot of shit on Brandon Cutler verbally.
He was like, "You choose him over me."
Exactly. Give the Bucks the ultimatum. He's like,
yeah,
you stopped. He said you stopped being elite and you started like becoming Cutler. Or no, you stopped being with the elite and you started hanging out with Cutler. Like, look at him. Like, look at him. Cutler.
You stop sitting with the jocks and the cool kids to hang out with Brandon Cutler. but at the same time, when he started that and then he carried on with his promo, I turned and I was like, you know what? I get it. Because he was like, I could have stayed at home, in Canada, or I could have gone on the greener pastures and gone here and there, but I chose to stay with y'all. I chose you guys. And it's like, and now that I'm here to be elite, you guys choose Brandon Cutler over me. And I'm like, I can't be mad at him for that.
Like, and that explains so much, like why what was it? His loss, like him and Hangman's loss, and then Kenny stormed off. He's like, "You're coming with me. You're coming with me, or that's it." And this is what he meant by "that's it."
Yeah.
He moved on to his greener pastures, but he still wanted to stay with the company.
True.
So
and that's another thing on that, because even he acknowledged the whole Don Callis thing, where he was like, I get Don Callis isn't like,
abrasive.
I disagree with him at times too, but whatever. I still choose you guys, whatever, and you guys still, whatever. Either way. So it's crazy because before this whole promo, I was like, yo, Don Callis is all in your head.
Yeah.
You on some other shit, whatever. But now I'm looking at him like, to call back, just like you stated, Jaeger, to everything that's happened previously. I'm like, I can't even be mad at the guy. Like, It's valid points. So, and of course, the Bucks, they decided not to too sweet Kenny. They walked off on him. When he even stated verbally, he gave them, I think, 3 chances within his promo. He was like, either do this or that's it. Do this or no. Okay, all right, fine. Too sweet me or that's it.
Yep.
And then they left. And he even still tried to be like, hey, but again, nothing. He was like, fine, it's done. That's it. So I'm not sure what happens.
I thought this split off was going to happen down the line. I didn't think it was going to happen
this soon.
Yeah, I definitely thought this was going to happen. Maybe with some more New Japan integration, but
Yeah.
we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I think that's still I of course I was the same way because I wanted it something that was going to be immediate with the integration between all the brands, but I think they may be doing a slow burn to build up to something even grander. So
That's fun.
I'm just
here
in it for the
for it.
ride. Yeah.
Exactly.
But of course that ended with that, and trying to figure what else happened outside of that. Oh,
Lucha Bros now beat up Kenny.
yeah, they gave him a nice super kick, and that's what led into what's going to happen next week between both Kenny Good Brothers against Laredo Kid and Lucha Brothers. So that's been set up. There was an announcement for Cody and Brandy having a reality TV show on TNT.
I really can't stand the fact that both companies are so much alike, and they try not to be. Because this is Miz and Maurice.
This is Miz and Mrs. Absolutely.
And I don't care what anybody says. This is Miz and Mrs. It's
Holy
just
crap!
it's with a more. See, the problem is Miz and Mrs. with a. It's just that it's swapped. I think Maurice is more likable than Miz, while Cody is probably more likable than Brandy.
Yes,
it's just swapped.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't know, guys. I think y'all really need to watch Shot of Brandy on YouTube. It's
no. I like Shot of Brandy. Like, it's cool.
I have no issues with Brandy. I always just make fun of Brandy because it's like Brandy gonna get on that show. Regardless, Brandy's gonna be on TV in some.
Brandy's gonna call somebody at some point.
I would not be surprised if the baby debuts on AEW.
Now, I will say this. There were some entertaining spots within that vignette that they had for that show. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But am I gonna watch it religiously? Nah. But I can say the same thing about Ms. and Mrs. Like, there's been times where I've finished something and Ms. and Mrs. came on and I just started watching it because it's like, all right, cool.
You watch more than I have. I think I made a watch maybe just one segment of that show.
I'll give it a commercial to commercial run.
There you go.
Okay.
And then what's going on here? All right, that's enough.
now of course, I think they did the segment for that the vignette for their reality TV show. I think either after or before they did the stuff with QT Marshall.
Yeah.
Where
this was the worst thing of the whole night.
You think so?
It wasn't great.
I'm gonna agree with you.
It wasn't great, guys.
Out of both shows, I don't know if the segment ran too long or if QT. Maybe we're not used to hearing QT talking like that, but I felt like he either used too much word. It was something went wrong. But
here's what went wrong for me in that aspect. It's just the fact that once he brought up his wife is when I checked out, because you literally just had this whole segment in this storyline with him and the bunny. So I'm like, yo, where was your wife during all this time?
Like, I'm so glad I wasn't that.
You know what? I didn't even think about that.
Like, no, I was just like, wait. Your wife? Your wife. Is your wife the bunny?
I forgot about that whole.
Your wife is not the bunny. your wife is not. So that makes the bunny your mistress? And if that makes the bunny your mistress, she stole your money. So the bunny stole your money. And I'm not trying to rhyme this, but a theft happened. And
see,
now the bunny's your gold digger? No,
here's the crazy thing about it. Even if Ali was a gold digger in that aspect,
no, sugar baby,
gold digger, sugar baby, whatever. Eddie Kingston is the one that buffered that, because when he built the family and he talked to Blade during that time and he was like, yo, where's your wife at? I was like, okay, she stepped out on him to QT Marshall. Cool. That makes sense to me. This shit with QT
Wait,
Marshall,
what?
his
Now hold on a second. I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
no
That
when,
Eddie
yeah,
Kingston said that to Butch. I mean to Blade.
yeah. When they were setting when he was building the family when they had a tag match between Butcher and Blade
Nope.
and Lucha Brothers. Eddie Kingston came out and he was like, "Yo, why are y'all fighting?" And he was like, "You need to get things into perspective." And he looked at Blade. He was like, "Yo, where's your wife at?"
Oh, okay.
And to me, I was like, "Yo, that shit makes sense to me." She's gallivanting on doing her own thing because that's when Bunny wasn't with Butcher and Blade. That's when she was dissing that she stopped being around them.
Yeah, that's when she was with QT Marshall and shit.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm cool. That made sense to me. But this shit does not. Because it's like, yo, during that time. Yeah, exactly. So how are you expecting me to have sympathy for your promo in this aspect because you feel like an errand boy and whatever, when
But the
technically
thing is that his feelings towards everything was a little invalid because it's like you were featured. You didn't necessarily have to be in a tag team with Dustin.
that's
you
true.
didn't necessarily have to even join the Nightmare family. You chose to do all this, but now you're mad. And then it was like, oh, I just want an exhibition match. And it was like, fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Here's the problem. Excuse me. But here's the problem. Have y'all seen the podcast with QT Marshall?
Which one?
Talk is Jericho.
No.
Yeah, Talk is Jericho primarily.
No.
You see, and that's a problem because turns out QT Marshall has done a lot for AEW.
Oh yeah,
I remember me and you talked about it, Jaeger.
Yeah, you and I talked about that.
Gym that they was using when COVID first hit.
Yeah, when COVID first hit, they used his facility for they filmed 6 weeks worth of tapings, something like that. He's training him and Dustin, but he's training plenty of the talent there. He used plenty of his talent for Dark. A lot of people that came when they were announced that came from Georgia, they were probably coming from QT Marshall's school.
Yeah. I mean, even Anna Jay was saying that when she was on Jericho's episode.
Oh yeah, true.
A lot of people that QT and Dustin were to be praised more than what they should be because they helped all the talent.
I think that's actually what made me want to listen to QT Marshall on Talk is Jericho. There's a little blessing there. But you see, that's the problem. People don't know that QT has done a lot for this company, for this business. So it kind of makes his complaints or his strifes invalid or look invalid.
True.
But when you know that he's done all this and that, and he still gets the second degree or third degree, it's like, okay, well, damn, yeah, let's hear. I was like, all right, well, yeah, you're finally getting something. Let's see what you do with it.
So why not go with that argument rather than the shit you did on last night?
I think the situation
shit that he came out with was weird compared to his angle.
But I think personally is that why are you mad at Cody? Shouldn't you be mad at the company as a whole that you're not getting opportunities?
Honestly, just start getting mad at Tony or whatever. He's already relevant to the story. I mean,
and they didn't already, and of course, Cody coming out in his sling and saying, he's going to grant him the match and the exhibition and everything, and it was like, well, you kind of already gave a spoiler of what's going to happen. That QT is going to go too far. Because Cody said, if I do the figure 4, I'll let it go. If I gear you up for the crossroads, I won't hit it. So you basically gave it away.
So he's admitting that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that QT is going to take it too far. Take the pin.
He's pretty much giving QT a W here.
So with that being said, if we know QT is going to take it too far, is QT going to be the reason Cody is out of action?
Oh, it's such a shitty way to go out.
I honestly don't know because my predictions for Cody have just been completely wrong moving
Right.
forward. So it's like I'm at the point to where it's like I can't even guess what can potentially happen
I
because
mean, he
I'm
was
just
wearing
like,
that big ass sling and shit. So
I'm not
which
even
is
gonna. We've
that's
known about
another
his
weird
injury
thing.
forever. Exactly. No, the fact that he's in a sling now, like when we've known about his injury for like a month at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fact that he's finally in a sling, but then yeah, that kind of highlights what's going to be attacked, and the fact that he could have like taken his time out. Shit, he should have done it at the pay-per-view when he actually left the match.
right.
Like this does give QT Marshall a push. If the fans actually get behind it, that's really up to us. Really depends on how well they push QT between now and then.
But shit,
Yeah.
everybody can't keep a trading code now. Goddamn.
And it would have made sense
Yeah, that's a
then,
fact.
but at the same time, since they already got the pinnacle, there's really no four horsemen that you can really bring up that would make sense because technically the pinnacle is the pseudo four horsemen at this point. So I don't see where Cody can really go that would even make sense outside of him just leaving for a little bit.
I think he'll just leave for a little bit.
No.
Yeah, just go be a dad.
So I guess my prediction would be that he would leave until he would stick around for a little bit, then leave for a bit until MJF became champion, and then I guess compete against MJF to
We'll see.
finally. But
Finally
that would
come back as a
still,
heel
I don't know because I
and then
still
throw
like
his one challenge out or his one stipulation out the window.
because the only person that can really challenge Kenny at this point and actually win believably would be Hangman. And the only
Yeah.
person that would be able to beat Hangman, whether it be quick or over time, would be MJF. And then the
Yeah.
only person I can see taking it from MJF that would, as far as storyline purposes, outside of Moxley, would be Cody
Yeah,
lifting that restriction. But that's it right now, outside of Jericho. But Jericho, I don't see Jericho ever winning that AEW championship ever again. Period.
And that's fine, actually.
Yeah, that absolutely fine.
it makes me
So-
sad to say that we did not bring up Archer in that whole conversation.
I was thinking about it that whole time.
Yeah, like
Archer
that was
had a
a
promo
lingering.
about and the reason why I didn't really bring it up as much is because it's about Sting and
Okay,
it really doesn't benefit anybody, especially if Archer's going to feud with Sting. It doesn't really benefit him, and it doesn't really benefit Sting because let's say hypothetically Sting beats Archer in this feud, if that is where that's going. It's
Yeah.
not like Sting is going to go on to win either the AEW championship, the TNT title, whatever the case.
I stopped watching AEW.
Yes, Sting at this point is just a utility player. So it's not like he makes or breaks a difference outside of being a utility player. That's why the cinematic match works so well, is because he was a utility player to Darby having some extra backup against Team Taz. Right now, even with what we're getting into when we talk about the main event, he's a utility player for, the integration between Dark Order, Darby, Matt Hardy, whatever faction you want to call it, and so on and so forth. Like, there's really nothing that you can really say, okay, Sting, cool. It's just, he's there. But before we get into that, we have to get into the thing that preceded it, which was, ironically enough, how both these matches kind of just melded into one another based on all the players involved. The first match being Ty Conti versus Nyla Rose, which was actually the surprising match of the night.
Hold on. Before we get to matches,
we had a good segment.
before we get to matches, let's knock out some of these segments because I can't remember where they fell.
Go ahead.
I want to knock out this whole Miro and Kip segment that they're gonna do. This was it Arcade Anarchy?
Yeah.
I think I was closer to the end, but go for it.
I know it's close
No,
to the
no,
end. I just
no,
want
no,
to
no,
knock out some
knock
of
out
these segments.
all the segments, every single
Yeah,
one of them.
let's do
Yeah,
them. Let's do them. Yeah.
I'm gonna just knock out these segments. The Arcade Anarchy is like, I don't want to see this.
Neither do I.
I mean, granted, they can
I don't
surprise me and they can
care.
end up being a good match, but I don't want to see it.
I don't care enough, but if it ends up being good, then awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're all in agreement with that. The other segment, what else? There's another segment that happened.
Oh, Mox and Kingston.
Yeah, that
That
was
was
another one.
that was another good segment that I did not mind.
Mox and Kingston are just a great duo on
Yes,
promo.
they're
Yeah,
go together.
I think they what it seemed like they were doing in their promo was they were drawing a line in the sand for the Bucks, basically saying, "Hey, if you're gonna be part of this, you need to make sure that you're on the right side or whatever. Because I don't like you, I don't care for you, but just make sure you're on the right side." So cool, I guess.
So
But
are we? What are we leaning towards? Brian Cage leaving Team Taz or Team Taz betraying Brian Cage?
now it was odd during that
Brian
promo.
Cage.
Because even when Taz was talking, Brian Cage was still like he had these facials that was like, "Yo, I don't recall saying that, but I guess I'm gonna just fall in line for right now," because that's when he ended up with like who better. But I was still like, "Huh, something ain't right," because even with Ricky Starks was still kind of like, So now, personally, just on my end, I don't want Team Taz to break up right now. I don't think it's a time. I think they've just gotten fresh out of this whole Darby Sting thing. Kind of, because they still have Sting.
Finally got credibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they still have a few legs right now with this, and they should kind of move it on, at least until somebody gets extra gold.
Yeah.
So, and I think that person is Ricky Starks, obviously, with the TNT title. But granted, with the way that everything's looking with the Pinnacle, they may be forced to break up because of the fact that, because I still kind of I see Sean Spears taking that title from Darby Allin if it's not going to be Ricky Starks.
Same.
Which I'm not. I'm okay with. Perfectly fine. It sucks for Scorpio Sky.
Which his promo wasn't bad.
It wasn't. Now, unless of course they have other plans for Scorpio Sky, well, maybe I couldn't look. I know I've come on here like week after week plugging this whole FTW title shit, but somebody needs to make that title needs to make it somewhat prestigious, because if they've already talked about saying they're going to push this title, they need to put it on somebody, because Cage ain't doing it. And it's not his fault.
No, if you want to make this title credible, then I mean that's what Taz was all about before Sting showed up. Like, it was just making the title credible. If you want to reverberate back to that, do it, but do it with this now angsty Cage, who, if he's not gonna like share his opinions with Taz, he's gonna at least fight for what the thing that he does believe in, that is like of mutual interest with Taz, you know?
Yeah.
Like, show why he still has unity to Team Taz.
Yes.
So, like, yeah, you got to start having him like fight for that. I don't know who the first competitor would be for that. Maybe Scorpio Sky, maybe Lance Archer could go in either direction for it. However, if Scorpio Sky's going to get that TNT title, he's got to do it like right now, because otherwise, like, because if he doesn't, then he's not going to get it. It's sad to say, because like you just said, it's either going to go to Ricky Starks or the name just like popped out of my head. But
outside of Scorpio Sky, the people that could honestly, in my perspective, that can actually take that title, depending on which direction Cage leans towards, whether it be heel or face, is going to be Wardlow, Lance Archer, and Christian Cage.
Good
Okay.
points.
I can't see anybody else outside of that is in somewhat prominent in a somewhat prominent role.
Earlier you did say Sean Spears.
No, but Sean Spears, well, yeah, true, but I think he should take the TNT title.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking about the TNT title? Oh, you talking about the FTW?
FTW title is yes for
My bad.
that's what yeah. But yeah, Sean Spears is probably going to
Yeah,
be the one to take that.
whoever's going to take that FTW title is going to be somebody of a major kind of status in a sense.
And the only reason I said Wardlow is because he's with Pinnacle, so it's like if they're all trying to get gold, that's the only belt that he could.
That's the only one that he can
take.
carry. Yeah.
So, but yeah. Of course, going back to Mox and Kingston, obvious. I mean, come on.
What do you need to say? Great shit. Good shit. Great shit.
Good shit.
As always, like that. Right now, they are playing their role and they're earning their paycheck the way they need to. They ain't got to be in the ring. They can just earn that paycheck that way. Have a backstage promo segment, whatever.
Now we can talk about Ty and Nyla.
Now, Ty Conti and Nyla Rose surprised the hell out of me because I wanted Ty Conti to win.
Me too.
I did not expect her to win.
Me neither.
And to win clean at that.
And then they fucked it up with the last like 5 minutes.
They did. Now I'm not gonna go.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna go through the match itself. I'm just gonna talk about like my gripes within it and that because Ty Conti looked good as far as her offense. It's just she didn't look confident with what she was doing because she seemed like she was second guessing herself throughout the match as far as the second half. Like she was still waiting for a lot of spots to happen. But as far as her offense, though, I like it. Still want NJ back, obviously, but but for
it's
her,
gonna be a while.
Yeah, it is. And for her to get the win over Nyla Rose clean says a lot for Ty. Absolutely. Now, this is one of the things, before I even get into the whole Matt Hardy thing, this is one of the things, even with the way that the segment ended and everything, post-match, all of that, this is what I was clamoring for when I was griping about the women's championship picture this whole time. Like, why couldn't you have done this a long time ago to where you have Ty Conti, Nyla Rose, a Bunny, and Sheeta in the mix? Even if you don't have Britt Baker and the Rose, you still have this. This right here is your title picture. Even it may not be as glorious as you wanted, huh?
You said Bunny?
Yeah, because what happened after this match is Bunny came out.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
And Matt Hardy, granted, I could care less, like Scoop could care less, but he was a utility player in this that helped beef up Bunny, basically stating that, hey, the women's tournament was crap because you didn't have Bunny in it. It could have been better if you had her in it. And that's still legitimizing her as a competitor because she was not in it and she is a wrestler. So
she hasn't wrestled in a while.
She has not. And that's the thing too.
Yeah.
So it would have, like, in his eyes, like, yeah. And who's to say that she wouldn't have gone on to move further? So now they're trying to put respect on her name, which is cool because at least you're adding more to the plate. Because all I want and all a lot of people want is the fact that this women's division to be a lot better, especially in the title picture.
Yes.
And we've praised a lot of aspects of the women's division outside of the title picture itself. Because to me, and I said, I think maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've stated that everything outside of the title picture in the women's division is going in the right direction. And last night was the one time where I finally said, I like where the title picture is going right now.
Okay.
So now, of course, Britt Baker's not involved at the moment. No, but at least what you're doing is you're putting people in place to where it's like, hey, we want this title. We believe we deserve it. Here, we're trying to compete for it. So you have a fresh face of Ty Conti. You have a previous champion, Nyla Rose. You have somebody who's completely been overlooked in the words of Matt Hardy and the words of other people in Bunny. And then you have the champ. If that's not a start.
Sorry to interrupt you, man.
No, you're good.
Was this Ty's like first TV win?
I think so.
No. She won and wait, no, I think it may be in a tag match that she won in with
Oh
Anna
yeah,
Jay.
I mean that tag match where it was the
But
Booty
as
Brothers.
far
Oh,
as
her with
singles,
Anna Jay, yeah, that was like her first. I don't know if that was her first TV one, but it was definitely before this. But I mean, I guess in a singles way, this might have been her first TV.
no, I think she beat Red Velvet in a singles
Oh,
match.
did she? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that would make sense if she like already had wins in Dark. But okay.
But I
Okay.
like this though.
Oh yeah,
And then
no, I definitely am excited to see Ty take I guess take the spot that Anna Jay would have maybe had,
that's
unfortunately.
true. Which
But
of course,
no, I mean,
uh,
I'm excited to see her like feud with Bunny even. Like, that would be
well,
that'd be
the fact
nice.
that you said that too, Jaeger, was the fact that it's a nice little callback to Anna Jay that Dark Order came out and gave Ty Conti the salute as well, which of course kind of bleeds into the main event, which we've talked about here. Because now during that post match, when you had Bunny come out, that was part of Matt Hardy's stable.
It's really
So
weird.
now, of course, now you have that same beef between Matt Hardy, Hangman Page, Dark Order, and then Matt Hardy's faction. Now, in this match, you had Darby Allin defending his TNT Championship against John Silver, aka Johnny Hungy. Shouts out to Scoot Hungy.
Scoot hungry indeed.
Now, of course, there is
All
no
right.
surprise.
Hold on. Before
Go
we
ahead.
continue, I thought about this earlier. Am I the only one that wants Layla Hirsch and John Silver to form a tag team called Legit Meat?
This goes back to me wanting to see more intergender wrestling.
Let them be a tag team. Let them be a duo. They're about the same height. Let them be a duo. Legit Meat.
Well,
I'm
I
down
don't
for
want
it.
to. I don't want
Or
to jump.
or if not Legit
Oh wow,
Meat,
I called that out.
Legit Hungry.
Legit hungry. Yes. However, I feel silly now because we did have a mixed tag challenge with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
That was totally like a Facebook thing for some
But then it
reason.
was still men versus men and
Yeah,
women
it's
versus
still at
women.
the intergender
Yeah,
tag
like
rules.
whenever they
So.
tagged out. Yeah, yeah. But still wasn't like I can't even say them the world's cutest couple anymore.
Nope, you can't. So that's gone.
You gotta censor that one in production, man.
Shout out to I mean, of course, in the intergender land, whether
Oh,
you mesh it
wait.
together,
Speaking of crazy thing,
Huh?
they just signed Red Velvet.
which is weird.
Wait, they just now signed her?
Yeah.
She just became all elite today.
Mm-hmm.
Today.
Today. Yeah, they just signed her today.
Where was she at prior?
No,
I guess
she was
she just
just
had
in
a
limbo. Rather,
She was
great
she was just a
contract.
contractor? Don't WWE me here, man. Like
I guess they WWE'd her, and I guess today they was like, let's go ahead and
what
officially
in
sign her.
the
Yeah, I thought that was a crazy because like when I saw the thing, I was like, why somebody posting old shit? And then I was like, wait, no, she just got
oh,
signed.
this is an old
like
shit.
yeah, like officially, yeah.
I was like,
-1
wait.
was signed before Red Velvet.
I was like, wait, how the hell did Red Velvet have all of these situations and she
Yo.
just now signed?
Wasn't Lee Johnson signed before Red Velvet?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of, we did skip over a Jade Cargill segment where she challenged Red Velvet, but yeah,
Yeah, they're continuing that rivalry, which I mean, I called it
fine.
already. Like that was going to be
yeah.
their thing.
But
Um,
I did have one gripe about this particular match, and my gripe was Sting.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Only
Um,
because Dark Order was not interfering to where Sting needed to come out and regulate.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
It wasn't
Because
like the Dark Order was trying to beat up on Darby or anything. The only thing that happened was 5 taking a suicide dive.
Yeah,
But for Sting to come out there and to pull out the bat and then the Dark Order and I didn't like the way the Dark Order reacted because the Dark Order reacted like Team Taz. It's like, fam,
Yeah.
it's like 7 of y'all.
and that it would be different if the Dark Order was still acting as heels, but they're acting as a face stable. So
Take number
they're
10.
still
Number 10 can get hit with the bat, and the rest of y'all can just jump Sting.
I mean, can they be that dark face though? You know what I mean?
They
I mean,
can.
true, but they've been acting so goofy and everything to where it's like you can't really hate them. On top of that, you still have the Brody Lee shit that's still kind of fresh. Now,
Yeah.
but the problem with that is that you had Matt Hardy stable out there. You could have easily had Sting point the bat at them
Yeah.
based on everything that had been
Yeah.
going on, but he never did. And
No, he
that
came
was
out way too early to
that yeah,
point the
that
bat
too.
at
He
anybody
should have
else.
waited after, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That was messy.
it just that and
Post
that's
match
why.
though.
No, post match was good, but
Oh, yeah.
even the match in itself was good.
Just like when Darby coffin dropped the whole Dark Order, it was like, what was that for? Like, why?
Yeah, fair enough.
John Silver using the Queen Slayer submission.
Yes.
I did like that.
And I hope he
Like-
didn't hurt himself because he was really selling that arm.
Yeah, he was.
So I hope he really didn't hurt himself.
I haven't seen anything as far as like news related
Same.
that shows his injury, but you know we could all be surprised tomorrow. So who knows? But yeah,
Just
You know,
thought about it.
I had a
What?
unique thought when I was watching this match. And it's
What's up?
one thing we kind of really didn't consider. And this is kind of one of those we can fall it under a long shot. What if Sting takes over the Dark Order?
Two on the nose.
I
It'll
mean,
give him something to do.
I feel like
It
it's
just
two on the
depends.
nose. I feel like he stays with Darby, and I think
True.
Darby
it just
stays.
to me it would depend in what direction you want to take Dark Order because with the Sting you have now, there I don't see any way. Like I'm with Jaeger on that one. Like I don't see any way that he would be able to function with the Dark Order the way it's working now. Now, if you had TNA Joker Sting, maybe.
Okay.
But with the way it is now, it's just like more like him and Darby have like this weird relationship where, you know.
It's like, oh, they both do face paint. Yeah, that's. I mean, seriously, that's about the only vibe. It's like, oh, they both do like some goth face paint. Cool. Like, oh, you've both seen The Crow. Awesome. I'm not trying to shit on the gimmick, but I mean, it is what it is.
But you're right though. I mean, they're outside of them being loners and being that that whole brooding aspect to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it makes sense, but
definitely thought I was going to get less talking lines from Sting though.
Oh, you mean over the course of him being introduced and
Oh
everything?
yeah, since he's debuted, I definitely was expecting more of like. Maybe he just stands awkwardly in the rafters with Darby Allin now or something.
Yeah,
but
I would have appreciated that more.
Right?
But, unfortunately, we didn't get that. So
Sting also did an interview and he did say that him and Taker were supposed to do a cinematic match, but they just never could work it out.
Of course they were.
I bet they were supposed to.
You know what? I
worked.
probably would have watched it.
A cinematic match between him and Taker? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It was supposed to happen, but I guess they just couldn't work it out. I wonder. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the Boneyard match or something else.
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it just didn't work out, so they just ended up using AJ instead.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's no surprise Darby went over because
Yeah.
especially with him laying down the gauntlet 1 week prior to being like, I'm going to be a fighting champ. I
It was
wouldn't
such
bet
a lose it
money.
the first week.
Yeah, I would never bet money on him losing that title the very next week. Like, no, I think he's going to have at the very least 3 title defenses successfully before there's even a consideration of him losing that title. So,
Darby,
yeah.
he's had 3 now.
No, I mean of him making that announcement of him wanting to be a fighting champ.
Oh, okay. So now he's had
So
1 since. All right.
So I'm sure he'll have 2 more, and then he'll probably end up feuding with whether it be Ricky Starks or Sean Spears. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up feuding with Lance Archer because of Sting.
Yeah.
oh
I was thinking
shit,
that
that is a good aspect of it, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, I see that.
I was thinking that, or it does it with Ricky Starks, but Ricky Starks starts showing up, say next week or maybe on the 3rd week. Like, I see what you've been doing here. See that you wanna keep defending your title. So how do you feel about defending against me? Smooth ass Ricky Starks being how he is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, I can definitely see him doing that on week or next week or week after.
Well, we shall see.
We
Oh,
will.
yeah.
But before we get up out of here, any closing thoughts you guys got? Starting with you, Scoop.
Raquel Gonzalez.
You still got like 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yo, hey, spoiler alert. Raquel wins that belt. Wait to see how I act on this podcast.
We're live streaming this, aren't we?
Huh?
We're live streaming. No, are we doing Mania or are we doing the NXT one?
Mania.
No, Mania.
Mania. Okay.
Just watch to see how I act if Raquel walks out with that title. That's all I got to say. But
I'm gonna watch to see how you act if Raquel loses, though.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to see how I act on this podcast.
Oh,
just saying.
You have to be like, yeah, Scoop didn't want to be here today on the recap. Yeah, Scoop didn't want to be here. He just I don't know, just something came up.
Something came up.
Just before it started. Jaeger, any closing thoughts on your end?
Of him like hitting his head on the wall. Anyway.
What about you, Jaeger? What you got?
Shotzi, do your thing. See you
always.
Did they announce who she's defending against? Oh yeah, of course, Indian. Yeah,
potentially. I don't think that's.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna get it.
Yeah,
it makes sense to get it. There's no way you can't do. There's no way that there's 2 nights of NXT and we're not getting it. But
that's true because there's 4 matches on both shows so far. That's confirmed.
4?
So, yeah, 4 for each night.
I could see. Shit, only 4 then. I only see like a 2-hour show then, which is fine. But
I think they may end up having 5 for each show each night.
What I said, we got to see how.
They might have 5 for the second one because with the second one being on Peacock.
Okay.
So
I'm getting off topic, but just for a brief minute, that's one of my biggest gripes right now with WWE is that their timing of their pay-per-views have been pretty short.
Yeah,
for some reason that's been their thing lately, though.
Like they've been like they did a 3-hour pay-per-view one time that I watched, and it was recent. I think it was Elimination Chamber? That was like one of the shortest ones ever.
Well, I think
not Elimination. Yeah, Elimination.
What they're starting to do is that their pay-per-views have been getting shorter. Like they've been coming on at maybe 6 o'clock, and they've been off at like 8:30.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Call me old-fashioned, but I remember pay-per-views going 4 or 5 hours. I mean, that's why it
was tough for me to watch Revolution because it was like, oh shit. Revolution going long.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, when you end up growing accustomed to these like short run pay-per-views, then yeah, you're like, damn, like once it hit past like what was it, 10 o'clock, I was like, damn, Revolution? All right. Like, I see how we're going here. But I honestly was fine with it. Like
Yeah.
I miss like honestly, perfect runtime for a pay-per-view, call it 4 hours. 4 hours, 4.5 hours, perfect runtime. It's not too long. It's long, like not gonna deny that. But I mean, that's why there's like piss break promos and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, perfect runtime. Anything under that, you give me 3.5 hours for a pay-per-view, I'm gonna feel a little cheated. Like, but what was it? That 2.5 hour pay-per-view, I was just like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it. That is unacceptable. That is lazy. That is a not good show.
I was yeah, because I know Fastlane was under 3 hours, or it was right at 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. It seemed to end like structured.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
I don't like it.
know. I mean,
All right,
have,
Mr. D's
But again, oh yeah, Mr. Diesel, Mr.
what's your
no,
takeaway?
So
I have
official.
zero closing thoughts on my end because everything that I had to say was stated.
Ooh.
Outside of look, NXT, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing this build up right at a fast pace. At that main
Yes.
roster, you got some splaining to do. Like if you taking all this time and your card's not together, you better not give me a shit show. Especially if NXT is able to do this shit at a very rapid pace in a small amount of time, and they're able to flesh out their show to where I'm anticipating this shit,
Yes.
you got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You got a problem.
I really want to know why their stuff is coming out so late, or why they're doing all this shit last minute.
Because
Vincent
for
Kennedy
some
McMahon.
reason, I guess they think that we don't want long term storytelling for certain things. I don't get it because
They think we have the
yeah,
attention span of a 2-year-old, I guess.
I mean, yeah, you can build a proper feud in a couple of weeks, but that's never like how it was for Mania.
Yeah, it never was.
But then it's funny because as I've been watching a lot of Wrestling with Regret, he did WrestleMania 2000. Apparently, WWE is just used to doing last minute matches because he was talking about there was a few matches on the WrestleMania 2000 card that just came together like that day.
Jesus.
Because normally when he does a pay-per-view, he watches like a few weeks back to like get the story. And he was like, so apparently this has been a WWE thing and we really just didn't notice.
No, but I mean, I remember feuds back when we were kids or teenagers. Like
I
I
do
remember
too.
feuds lasting like since at the very least the Rumble.
Well, I think one of the big issues WWE needs to go back to doing, they don't need a March pay-per-view.
Yeah, no.
If Elimination Chamber is your pay-per-view, Elimination Chamber should be your last pay-per-view for WrestleMania. Don't try to squeeze a fast lane in, and here it is now. It's 3 weeks now after Fastlane. I think the whole month of March needs to build up to whatever you're going to have in April. For
Especially if
WrestleMania.
it's your biggest show, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they need to just cut Fastlane, and whatever happens at the Elimination Chamber, then that's your road to WrestleMania starting there, not the road to WrestleMania after Fastlane.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that.
I gotta give that to AEW, and I mean, honestly, WWE shot themselves in the foot here, but they've made too many damn pay-per-views.
Too many.
Like
one a month.
Yeah, one a month. Like no, like do was it? If you really want to do the most, like do one every other month or something. Like don't 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 shove all this in my face. Like I don't know what WWE's fascination is with shoving shit in your face, aka Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, but shoving pay-per-views in my face is not. It does not make me want to watch your product even more. If anything, I just want to see the one show every month, which is going to be your pay-per-view. That's it.
Mhm.
If that's all you want, if that's all you want is that $5.99 or whatever the price is out of me to go on Peacock and do that, cool. It's cheaper than what your original price was on the WWE network.
That's true.
So cool.
Yeah.
I get the Office and WWE stuff. Nice.
Well, yeah.
I guess that's my real closing thoughts on all that. Anyways,
No, I mean we're all one and the same on that one. Of course,
glad to hear
we'll
it.
definitely get into our predictions of Send and Deliver. Week after next. Yeah, because that's
Yes.
when
Yeah.
everything goes down. Of course, you get the same old as far as predictions and recaps. Next week, when we get into the next Tag Me In.
No. Next week will be our Stand and Deliver predictions.
Oh, will it now?
Yes.
Oh, because the week after that would actually be yeah. Okay, you're right. So you might get lucky. You might get lucky.
Because remember, the week of WrestleMania, Monday Raw is the go home show. Tuesday is the Hall of Fame, which they've already said they recorded their pre-noises for the Hall of Fame. Wednesday, Stand and Deliver Part 1, Stand and Deliver Part 2 / UK's Prelude. Friday, the go home show. SmackDown, then of course Saturday and Sunday, WrestleMania, and then Monday, the season premiere.
Okay. Well then, there you go. So you begin that prediction earlier than expected.
So yeah, next week will be our Stand and Deliver predictions.
Fair enough. Well then, of course, we will see y'all then. Scoot, let these beautiful mother effers know where they can find you and where they can get all of the necessary smoke.
It will be at the Scooter Ray on Instagram. All the smoke should be brought there. But of course, if you want to bring the smoke to the Less Than Stealthy Ninja streams, I'll probably answer you. I'll probably ignore you. It just all depends. Because we go there to have fun. And that's usually Fridays and Saturday nights on Twitch. Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, all one word. IG, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. Once again, wrestling smoke should be brought to at the Scooter Ray. If you want some gaming smoke, then you can bring it over there. But you don't really want that. You don't really want the gaming smoke.
They said they want a tomahawk fest, man. They said they want to.
I mean, if they want to catch a tomahawk to the face, they can. But like I said, if you got the wrestling smoke at the Scooter Ray, that's what you bring.
They want a hatchet party.
Hatchet party, baby.
Hatchet party.
Mr. Yeager, let these ladies know,
man.
especially Shotzi, especially Shotzi, know where she can find
I
you.
wouldn't mind a fusion of Sasha Banks and Shotzi. That'd be.
That's a fusion.
Yeah. There we go, Sashi.
Fusion. Look at this guy over there thinking about it. This guy right here.
I got lost in thought. I was like, what color would their hair be? Because I have no fucking clue. Like, would it be a teal?
Blue and green makes yellow, right?
Blue and green?
Yeah, that makes yellow.
No, blue and yellow make green.
Blue and yellow makes green. So blue and green.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That'd be like a teal color, I guess. Anyways, I'm thinking about that too long. If you want to find me, I mean, it's in the back of my head, but I mean, it's like one of those works of art you hang up on your wall. Anyways,
I mean, the tattoos though would be nice.
And then I'm imagining it in Mandalorian armor. Anyway, if you know, you know. But if you want to get at me, and I mean in the gaming sense, and the multiplayer sense and the shit talking and smoke bringing that you don't want to bring Scoop, but you want to bring to somebody else because Scoop probably blew your back out. I don't know.
I'm argumentative. I am argumentative.
Right there, Jaeger Bombastic, PlayStation, Xbox, maybe at some point Nintendo, but I'm working on the Switch gamer tag. I don't know if you can switch them or change them. We'll see. Other things, right there in the crawl, Hemza winning. It's HEMZAWINNING. Damn, I actually spelled that right.
Good shit.
It's good shit. Get at me. Social media, gaming.
Mr. Beasley, what outdated platforms can they find you on?
None.
that,
None.
you know,
But you can find me on the indated platforms, which would be Mr. Libdizzle at your IGs, your Twitters, your Twitches,
Ooh.
TikToks,
Oh,
no, etc. That's
let's
it.
talk that tick.
And if you do need that positivity in your life, you can find it at Lifestyle One Up on all of your podcast listening platforms.
trust. He got over
IG, Twitter.
500. He got over 560 episodes.
560. We were just giving him up to 500 like a month ago. What happened? This man works.
Like, if you really want that positivity, you got 560 reasons to be positive. God damn it!
He said, Christian Cage, where are you at? I got 560. Where's your work?
That's Mr. Outwork everyone over there.
Yes.
I mean, I don't try. It just happens, man. It just happens.
Just do what
But
it does.
I might need that shirt though, but we'll see. But of course, we gave you plenty to listen to on this episode of Tag Me In. So of course,
it's been our longest one.
It actually it may have been.
I feel like it definitely is.
You may get more along the lines down the line. Who knows? But until then, you beautiful mother effers, until you hear our beautiful, soft, sensual voices again. Ooh. A nice little two sweets of my brothers here. Bada 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 boom. As always, you beautiful mother effers. Until next time, tag